day, which is the second day of the week, and then fall on a Thursday next year. The Most High calendar isn't like that. It'll fall on a fixed day each year. Which means, if it was a Friday that it fell on last year, it's going to fall on a Friday this year at a fixed time. It's that clear. Right? Let's read it, Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir. This is Enoch chapter 7, verse number 32. On that day, the night decreases and amounts to 9 parts.
The night decreases and amount to 9 parts.
And the day to 9 parts. And the night is equal to the day, and the year is exactly as its day, 364.
So the last day, 364, written in the book of Enoch, well before the flood, folks. You have equal parts night, equal parts day. Now, at this time, before the flood, well, before the Egyptians gained power, we had a 9-part night, 9-part day calendar. Day. Which means instead of 12 hours, 60-minute hours, we had 9 hours, 80-minute hours.
Oh, this game just started.
You got that? So instead of 60 minutes, it was 80 minutes for an hour. Right? So you have 9 parts night, 9 parts day. It's still the equivalent of 12-12, just a different equation. Later on, the Egyptians switched that 9 part to 12 parts night, 12 parts day, 60 minutes
It's like
instead
all
of
the good people leave.
80 minutes.
Yeah, they love this stuff. I don't know what it is. I think it's
Okay. 80 minutes or 90 minutes. I have to go back and look at my work on that.
No,
But in a nutshell, the Egyptians shortened that or added to that. Gave it less minutes. Less minutes. Right? And more hours. But it was only 9 parts at that time. 9 parts night, 9 parts day. You got that? 9, an 18-hour cycle. Now it's 12 hours night, 12 hours day. We did the research on that, 2011 and all that, a long time ago. 2011, 2012, the Most High gave us the information. We put it out there, and when we looked into it, it was 12 exactly to the second. Now we have other people now looking into it. They look, well, hold up, what about this, that? No, none of these people weren't even thinking about the calculation of the time of Enoch when we put it out. When the Most High put it on our spirit to teach it. Now, the connoisseurs are coming out and saying, well, I don't know, I try to do it this and try to do it that. The Most High didn't give everyone the same gift. It's okay to learn. Okay. It's all right. Now, we know that an equal part night, equal part day is the last day of the year. And Enoch said what? It completes what?
364.
364. Period.
This nigga sliding over.
Yeah, I was
Somebody we ain't playing with.
So you had 80 minutes in the hour before the flood, up until the time of the Egyptians. 9 parts night, 9 parts day. You got that? Now, let's jump in. 364. Right? Now,
Hop on, bro.
how many Sabbaths is within 364? You might ask. Right?
Yeah.
Let's go to the book of Jubilees. Now, for those who don't understand or believe in the book of Jubilees, We're going to show you, according to the Bible, out of the Apocrypha, that the same information that was given to Enoch was later given to Moses on Mount Sinai.
What's that, 9 to 13?
So we're talking about 52 weeks.
Which one?
I don't think it's a coincidence when you add 5 and 2 together, you get what? 7. The Most High made sure that we would remember the Sabbath, because through remembering the Sabbath, we will remember weeks, months, and years. But the devil
Hope this nigga
would
get
send a
beat.
people who would think to change what?
I hope this nigga
Times
get beat.
and laws. Not their times, not their laws,
So he can
ours.
get on the squad. Oh, no. Send that nigga
And
in.
disconnect us from the Most High.
Ken.
Let's read this in 2nd Ezra, the 14th chapter, to give you a biblical reference that confirms that the book of Jubilees is the word of the Most High.
Oh, he in the squad already.
2nd Ezra chapter 14, verse 1.
Come on.
And it came to pass upon the third day.
Yeah, this nigga was in the squad. You know how niggas is so impatient.
There came a voice out of a bush over against me and said, Ezra.
He is in the squad. I'm like my homeboy coming, man.
Here
You gotta do is wait.
Come on.
And I stood up upon my
Think
feet.
he waited?
Then said he unto me, in the bush I did manifestly reveal myself unto Moses and talk with him when my people served in Egypt.
Come on.
And I sent him and
he
led my
did that,
people
so his
out of
squad
Egypt
can
and brought him up to the Mount of Sinai, where I held him by me a long season.
Come on.
And told him many wondrous works.
Hop on.
Go ahead.
And showed him the secrets of the times.
And showed Moses the secrets of the times. When you go into that word times of weeks, it's Jubilees.
I know we beat him.
The secrets of the times. Okay. I actually did a presentation called The Secrets of the Times after the Most High revealed this information in New York years ago when I first came back to the States. The Most High revealed to Moses the secrets of the times. There's no coincidence at the same time the Most High is delivering his people. He's given us his correct time that he gave our father Adam from the beginning. That he gave Enoch. That Enoch gave Methuselah. Methuselah gave to Noah.
Because they know we really don't want to play with this
Shem. Shem gave to Abram. On and on and on and on, folks. And it was confirmed at Mount Sinai.
See what this nigga is.
Follow me here now. Sam's going to make it easy for you today, right? So now we're going to go into
Elite.
the book of
How can you be sorry and name yourself Elite MVP?
and see if there's what you would call another witness or testimony to this 364 days
Elite.
that was
He's
found
an
in the
elite.
Sunrum caves not too long ago by the powers that be. Called the Dead Sea Scrolls.
What? Yeah, they about to lose too.
364.
They about to lose.
So this is why the Romans wanted the Essenes dead.
Oh, it's all good. They about to lose.
This is why the Babylonians and other nations were sending out mercenaries
he ain't my
to kill
homeboy,
them.
but we can run with him. I
The
told
Most High had them write our records, knowing the Gentiles were looking to connect his people from the Most High. They were looking to enslave and enrich themselves off of us. And if it was up to the Gentiles, folks, we as a people would stay enslaved perpetually for an eternity.
You probably finna leave.
So the Most High sent them into remote areas to scribe records. All day and night they would scribe records and put it in earthy pots in caves. So that one day the Most High could have a little boy running there and find the pots with the preserved scrolls, confirming another prophecy given to John on the Isle of Patmos in Revelations 12.
All right, he in the squad.
That the earth would help the woman. The woman is Israel, our people in captivity. And swallow up the flood that came out of the serpent's mouth. The flood is the lies that came from the Zionists, the Romans.
Yeah, hey, come right here.
through distortion of time, they would separate God's people. The children of Israel scattered from the Most High, Ahia. And he confirmed his word. And what happened? The earth helped the woman. And I'm so glad the Most High gave us these details before what this archaeology that's coming out came out. So that you'll know it's the Most High sending the info. He's bringing forth the Spirit on what to study. See? Let's go to the book of Jubilees.
Jubilees 6 and 22.
6 and 32.
32, Salakia. Jubilees 6 and 32.
These are the records, the book of Jubilees. These were the records shown to Moses.
This might work out.
Read it.
And command thou the children of Israel that they observe the years according to this reckoning. 364 days.
300 and what?
364 days.
Come on.
And these will constitute a complete year.
And these will constitute a what?
A complete year.
A complete year. Read.
And they will not disturb its time from its days and from its feasts.
See that? From its days, or its what?
Its times, or from its feasts.
Or from its feasts. So if you're not following a 364-day calendar, you're not following the Most High feast on their appointed times of the year.
Man.
See? I don't care what you call it. You can call it Passover if you would like. But nothing is going on in the heavens while you're doing it. That's just you having a get-together, calling it Passover.
Man, get away from me, man.
See?
Oh, wow. What the?
But if they do
this
neglect
nigga
and do not
sorry, bro.
observe them according to his commandment, then they will disturb all their seasons, and the years will be dislodged from this order.
And the years would be what?
Dislodged from this order.
Dislodged from this order. Read.
And they will disturb the seasons, and the years will be dislodged, and they will neglect their ordinances.
And they would neglect their ordinances. Our ordinances are what? The high holy days. The Most High gave Moses. So not only did he give Moses the law in Leviticus 23, he also said, you must follow these according to the 364-day schedule. And if you don't, you're going to disturb everything. And as a pretext, my people will go into slavery. They'll go into captivity. I'm going to show you. Read.
And all the children of Israel will forget, and they will go wrong as to all the order of the years.
Exactly. Now they'll go wrong. What? Of all, read that last piece.
And all the children of Israel will forget.
Will forget like we're doing now. Well, I don't know. It could have been, no telling what the white man did. Who knows what day it is? Who did that to you? When the stars and everything is aligned, we're still on that same schedule the Most High gave Adam from the beginning. He gave Enoch. We're just confused. See?
Man, this brother ain't finna keep.
So,
man,
of course, the Most High would send teachers that would put things back on course, folks, and reveal the information to you. Okay? So that you can look at it and actually get on course.
You ain't have to file, but okay.
Read.
And will not find the path of the years, and will forget the new moons.
They will forget the new moons.
And seasons.
And seasons.
And Sabbaths.
And Sabbaths.
And they will go wrong as to all the order of the years.
They will forget the order of the years. That's a part of what? Forgetting the Sabbath. Because if you remember the Sabbath and keep it holy, you do 52 of them, you'll never forget a calendar year according to the Most High. How can you remember the Sabbath from week to week and don't know what a year consists of? Does it make sense to you? You should
Why
know
you
what a
keep
year
guarding
consists
my
of.
man?
You shouldn't look at what they talk about,
Oh, this nigga know how to do the
365.237.
speed
What is
boost.
that? Finish reading, Elder Lawyer.
For I know it from henceforth, and I will declare it unto thee. And it is not of my own devising, for the book lies written before me, and on the heavenly tablets the division of days is ordained.
And it says it's written where?
I did.
On the heavenly tablets,
The stars.
I tried
You
to
can look
set
up in the
up.
sky and tell.
And he was there.
The heavenly tablets are
I mean, it was too
it's
late.
the stars, folks. No, as soon as our new month came in, what they call erroneously new moon, and I'm going to show you that. As soon as it came in the next day, what happened? The Gentiles upped the clock an hour. And then I'm looking outside this week.
Yeah, he
Lovely.
gonna be nice. He gonna be nice when he get if
We
he get
went
better.
from the end of winter into spring.
If he adds something to that speed boost.
You understand? And we never changed this calendar, folks.
Gross.
We never changed. Once we're at 364, we don't care what the Gentiles' calendar said. It was meant to confuse you. The more you try to resolve things by looking at the Gentile and what they're doing, you're falling under the conspiracy. You're falling under the confusion. Because the Gentiles, every so often, had to, throughout history, change things and rearrange things to catch up by not following the 364. So a lot of brothers and sisters are falling to their deception by trying to resolve what the Gentiles did. They're confusing you on purpose on every level.
Man, get away from me,
that's our
man.
problem. We look for confirmation from them. Nix them. Let's start with what the Most High gave us, starting with 7 days, Sabbath, and let's work from there. Okay? That's simple. Finish reading.
lest they forget the feast of the covenant and walk according to the feast of the Gentiles.
Hold up now. If we don't follow 364, we'll be walking after what?
The feast of the Gentiles.
The feast of the Gentiles. So you can call it Passover if you want. You can call it whatever you want. Those are the feasts of the Gentiles, folks. The Most High began to destroy our priests because we began to follow under what? The Babylonian worships of the moon and calling it Passover, calling it Feast of Trumpets, calling it Feast of Unleavened Bread or Feast of Tabernacles and all those things. We began to do what? Profane what the Most High gave Moses by calling a profane day a holy day. And those are the days the Jewish people are following today. And that's why no wonder you notice they name their months after what? Babylonian gods. Nisan and other Babylonian gods. During the time of Babylon is when we began to follow after the Gentile course of year. Once we fell, our kingdom fell. And begin to call our Passover on a profane day.
Yeah.
So what happens now that we've awakened in America? We found we're the Israelites. We know we're the true Jews. We know that Christ was through our bloodline. He came for us. But yet we still seek the Gentiles for the observing of days. And we still follow it like our forefathers did before the Most High destroyed us. That's why he says, your new moons and all that, get that away from me. I cannot stand it because you're not doing what I told you to do. You're doing it under the Gentiles' guidance. You're worshiping false gods. See? Finish reading.
And walk according to the feast of the Gentiles after their error and after their ignorance.
And after their error and after their ignorance. That's key that the Most High showed Moses that. How can you go to the ignorant to resolve the word of the Most High. Right?
Oh, wow. What?
Read it.
For there will be those who will shortly make observations of the moon.
There will be those who would make observation of the moon. You can ask any Jewish person or rabbi when a new year comes in, and they'll tell you the first moon, full moon, after the vernal equinox. The Most High didn't say observe a new year based on that. The Most High said you based a new year on what?
Oh my goodness.
On the day being equal, on the complete day being 12 hours or 9 parts night and 9 parts day. Not when a full moon comes. So that's why the Jewish Passover is entirely different than what we're following. Okay. What's the error?
For there will be those who will shortly make observations of the moon.
Of the moon.
Oh my
how it disturbs
goodness,
its seasons and comes in from year to year 10 days too soon.
10 days too soon. So the error would be us following the Gentiles who have their worships and their holy days set up after the Passover. That's an error. Why? Through a complete cycle year.
My goodness,
the moon has a cycle of 354 days. 10 days short.
Don't you see? Get away from me, man.
I gave Moses.
Hey, what's so hard about that?
See? Gave Adam from the beginning.
Gosh.
All this was from the beginning. So now you have a complete moon year or lunar year of 354. And by doing so, the year comes in early 10 days each year. So what happens through time? If you you begin to do that. You start throwing off the course of everything. Right? Now, like I've mentioned many times before, I'm not saying this to put anyone down based on what they're doing and all that, because I once believed the holy days that the Israelites are following. I used to do the same thing when I first came in. Don't forget, I've been in this for decades, folks. Almost 30 years. I never went to the priest or what we thought were high priests back then and say, excuse me, confirm to me why we're following this Passover at the same time the Jewish people are following theirs. I didn't know how they got the calculation. I just trusted. If you told me I was an Israelite, you must have researched this too. See? So I'm not saying this to say, well, look what we have. And all. No, we're saying, well, listen. Maybe it wasn't time for us to understand it at that time, but the Most High has given us information.
Oh my gosh!
He shut up the book of Daniel. So a lot of information wasn't afforded for the teachers who taught us back then. They were going off what they had.
He ain't hitting that.
But we're in a time knowledge has increased, like it was written in the book of Daniel. They probably just didn't know. But who cares? They did what the Most High had entrusted in them at that time. What we're saying is, what we're showing is,
bull crap in the beginning.
We have to add this now. We have to get on course like we were before the fall.
That pure sharp, yeah, he was getting
okay. Finish reading what you have, Brother Lawyer.
So this is Jubilees 6:37.
Yeah, that nigga, the purple nigga, the one that scored all the points.
The years will come upon them when they will disturb the order and make an abominable day the day of testimony.
They will make an abominable day the day of testimony. Read.
And an unclean day a feast day.
They will make an unclean day a feast day by observing the moon.
And they will confound all the days the holy with the unclean, and the unclean day with the holy, for they will go wrong as to the months and Sabbaths and feasts and jubilees.
Look at that. Go on.
For this reason I command and testify to thee, that thou mayest testify to them. For after thy death thy children will disturb them, so that they will not make the year 364 days only, and for this reason they will go wrong as to the new moons, and seasons, and Sabbaths, and festivals, and they will eat all kinds of blood with all kinds of flesh.
Look at that. Controlled by the Gentiles now. So when we fell in Babylon, we kept the holy day's name, but we began to do it after the course of years, following the moon, which comes in 10 days early each year.
Bro, we probably should go back
days,
over that.
And eventually, it led to our fall. The Most High told the sons of Zadok during that time,
think that was
in the
gay?
6th century, listen, I need you to leave the priests, the priests are sacrificing to Baal. You're the sons of Zadok, the sons of Aaron. I need you to go into a remote area to preserve my record. Israel is about to fall. The kingdom will be destroyed. And you know what? We have it right here. We have it right here.
It's a time
limit.
Go
over it
well, we got a time this limit. I need to bust their head, bro. That was gay.
Academy tomorrow. Oh yeah, it's going to be a great day in the academy. I mean, we're going into the creation of the universe and the great I am. His power before creation and how all things exist and is made. Tomorrow, the creation of the universe. So I'm going to break this down in a moment on a level that a layman can understand it.
Another lockdown.
Without using it in a circle. Sometimes you look at that circle and all that, people look at it and say, well, I don't understand it. So I thought that I would just lay it out in a line from one day to 364 to break it down to you that way. How about that today?
Perfect.
See? And someone, I think a sister said, I can't wait, Elder, for tomorrow. Hey, I can't wait either.
That's my man.
It's some excitement. It's a new year. It's spring coming up. The Passover's coming up. And, man, we got a fresh new academy tomorrow, man. I'm going to be energized for that class tomorrow morning. I'm excited with you. Right? Now, yeah, and if you want to get in, send an email to gatheringas1@aol.com. We have people working around the clock right now, so don't miss it. Now, Elder Lawyer, I need you to break down real quick. Just give you a window into how we deal with the Hebrew real quick and how we deal in our classes.
Push.
Ask, well, the Lord says in certain instances about the moon that we should observe holy days according to the moon. How can you say what you're...
I didn't try to do that.
Correct, and what the Jewish people are teaching according to the moon is incorrect? How would you answer that?
Absolutely. Just dealing with the Hebrew aspect, of course, we understand. Also relating or going back to the Enoch, how to calculate a month or how to reckon a month, and how not only are you making observations of the moon, but you're actually making observations of the sun, because we know the moon follows the sun.
Exactly.
When you go back to Genesis 1, it makes mention of two lights, a greater light, which is the sun, and a lesser light, which is the moon. So the greater light is that greater creation, that greater luminary that we follow to determine a month. But now, just from a Hebrew aspect, going to the book of 1 Samuel chapter 20, verse 5, and David said unto Jonathan, behold, tomorrow is the new moon. Now, when you look at that word new moon, in the Hebrew, it's Chodesh. The new moon, by implication, a month.
A month. So as we can see there, he wasn't talking about a moon at all. He was talking about a change of season according to what? The 364-day calendar. A new month. Not a new
I ain't get pushed last time.
So it's the moon there that
Last
gets
time I
most
jumped
confused,
and he waited.
right? But we're going to
And I
resolve that. It's
jumped
not
only because he
speaking
hot.
of moon there. It's speaking of a
Oh
new
my
month.
gosh.
And a month is calculated by what
I
happens
didn't go for the steal.
through the course
I wasn't
of a
in front
month
of.
or to 1 month to the next. From what? From the sun and the moon. Not the moon only. They work in tandem.
Wow.
See?
That's
The
all.
Gentiles
What?
deal strictly with what?
Bro, they be
The
letting
moon.
these niggas get in.
The moon god. And unfortunately, I know this is going to hurt a few people out there. The moon god was a god, believe it or not, worshipped in Egypt. Yah was the moon god. You can find that in historical archaeological findings. That Yah was the moon god. But go on.
Now we're going to go to Genesis
Grab the
7.
ball.
That word, new moon and month, are the same
Wow.
word. Just verifying that when it says new moon, it's simply meaning a month.
Okay.
Genesis 7 and 11, and the 600th year of Noah's life, in the second month, in the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up. Now,
What about coming back to play now?
Written and documented in Genesis 7 and 11 twice, and for both words, it's Chadash in Hebrew. The new moon, by implication, a month. Okay, showing you that new moon and month are the same word in Hebrew. Now when we look at the word moon, okay, the moon as the luminary in the sky. Let's go to the book of Genesis, chapter 37, verse 9, and it says, and he dreamed yet another dream, and he told it his brethren, and said,
that nigga didn't
behold,
cook
I have dreamed a dream more, and behold, the sun and the moon and the 11
He
stars
really didn't, bro.
He
had 18, but nigga, it's like once you start getting hot, you on the road.
Entirely different word. So if it was
And it's
there,
getting
in the
hot
other
wasn't like,
I think you were
he did that, bro. That's
when it came to David and what
it's all that extra
David
stuff, bro.
That it would have said,
Well, we
new,
playing right here,
if
bro.
it was speaking of the moon in the sky.
Know where you going nowhere else.
But it doesn't say Yerah or the moon in the sky. It's talking about a new month.
This is the last loss.
364
That was the last loss.
64-day cycle. Right?
Yeah, he is. He ain't got no D.
Now I want to show you something else.
And then he be missing open shots sometimes. Like, nigga.
Wide open.
On the screen.
A stretch four, missing a wide open three.
Here.
And it wasn't even like a limited screen.
Pull the browser
They
back
just
up
got beat. They ain't even get beat a little bit. They got beat a lot.
See?
A lot.
1 second here.
Those are the dudes we
This comes out of National Geographic, as you all can see.
Yeah, they lost.
Vernal Equinox 2012, first day spring myth busted. Are day and night equally long today? The 2012 vernal equinox or spring equinox?
No.
Look at
all they did was locked up that purple nigga.
In the northern hemisphere, winter officially ended at 1:14 a.m. Eastern on Tuesday, March 20th, the vernal equinox or spring equinox, making today the first day of spring, right? But don't be fooled by the rumor that on the spring equinox, the length of day is exactly equal to the length of night. The 3 days of day night equality always fall before the vernal equinox and after the autumnal
back to 200, back to 100.
Chester, a public affairs specialist with the U.S. Naval Observatory in Washington, D.C. Listen to his quote. Exactly when it happens depends on where you are located on the surface of the earth. Now, mind you, like I've mentioned,
you gotta be careful.
We were able to calculate the times while being in the east or on the other side of the hemisphere, not the western hemisphere, folks. Now, By the time the center
Yo.
of the sun passes over the equator, the official definition of equinox, the day will be slightly longer than night everywhere on Earth. The difference is a matter of geometry, atmosphere, and language. And I'm glad that was brought out because some people may try to resolve things clearly from the Western Hemisphere.
Come on, bro. What is you doing?
Now listen to this. Geometry, atmosphere, language of the spring equinox. If the sun was just a tiny point of light and Earth had no atmosphere, then day and night would be exactly 12 hours long on a spring equinox day. So it goes into some details, but it's something I wanted to bring out in particular. Listen to this here. Pope
I'm done with
shuffles
this
vernal equinox. This is history now. Pope, the Most High gave us in Daniel, told us that they would think to change times and laws. And what do we have here? The Pope shuffles the vernal equinox. Now the vernal equinox should be equal parts night, equal parts day, like we're following, folks.
Yeah.
But why did the Pope shuffle this?
Switch.
Listen to this, folks.
Switch.
Another spring equinox oddity. A rule of the calendar keep it so that the first day of spring is almost always March 20
I do.
But sometimes on the 19th. In 1582,
hold on.
Telling you they don't even follow the vernal equinox.
Sending this dude a
Every
message.
place you go
Somebody
to, they
just
show
asked
the
me, do I
20th
need
and
a
all
third?
that.
Then he said it looking like you
It's
do.
to account for the equinox in
I sent him
being.
a message said, yeah, we do.
So forget about trying to go to them and thinking that start from the 20th and all that and believe that that's the real vernal equinox. Listen to this.
It's a lockdown, huh?
If it hadn't established the new calendar, every 128
we still
years,
ain't
the
about to
spring
lose,
equinox would have
but
come
we out of
a
here after we
full
win.
calendar day earlier, eventually putting Easter in chilly midwinter. So they didn't do this to resolve the time according to
bruh.
They did this to make sure Easter would always fall in the wintertime.
I knew that was gonna happen, bro. I hit square and everything.
Falling in the wintertime. See? But through past history, they was observing the moon, and the days were off course. Listen to this. Before the Pope's intervention, the Romans
post.
and
Yeah,
much
that's
of
gonna
the
leave
world,
us open though.
right
That's really good.
It begins with the fact that there is not an exact number of days in a year, McRoberts said. But yes, it is. So the Gentiles, like the Most High said, are ignorant.
Gosh.
And it says, before the Pope's intervention, the Romans and much of the European world marked time on the Julian calendar.
Crazy, man. Like, I don't need no pick from you, bruh.
The old calendar
You're a
counted
stretch.
365.25 days per year. Are you seeing this, folks? In defiance of our 364 that the Most High gave us, the Gentiles had 365.25.
No, I'm straight on him, bro. Yeah, he played too. How you think you got to win a record? The show like on threes.
Cycle, every 4 years, a leap day help keep things on track. Instituted by Julius
And all he got to do is
Caesar,
get open and shoot.
365.25. And it says, it turns out, however, that there are circuit of the sky.
Yeah, I'm straight on it.
He's telling you right there that the sun moves. So the earth don't revolve around the sun, folks. They won't tell you this. The earth doesn't move, it only tilts. Everything else is moving. Again, using the Julian calendar, the fall-spring equinoxes and the seasons were arriving 11 minutes earlier this year. By 1500, the vernal equinox had fallen back to March 11th.
Yeah.
Now, what's the fix here? To fix the problem, the Pope decreed that most century years, 1700, 1800, 1900, would not be leap years, but century years divisible by 400, like 2000, would be leap years. Under the Gregorian calendar, the year is 365.2425 days long. That gets us close enough to the fraction that the season don't drift, McRoberts said. With an average duration of 365.2425 days, Gregorian years are now only 27 seconds longer than the length of the tropical year. You see how the Gentiles are not on equal parts day and night?
Sometimes broadcasting help, don't it?
Yeah, because they ain't
Nowadays, according to the U.S.,
period,
right here, an error will allow the gain of one day over a period about 3,200 years.
Man, Flip
so he says,
got a cold
he's just doing this as a quick fix. We may have to adjust it again later. Why don't they just follow the Most High? What about that?
Yeah, I think Flip got all his badges with that stretch.
Observatories Chester equinoxes migrate through a period that occurs about 6 hours later from calendar year to calendar year due to the leap year cycle. The system resets every leap year, slipping a little bit backward until a non-leap century year. Leap nudges equinoxes forward in time once
man,
again.
Bruh. Straight like that.
Huh?
I don't know, you have to go dribblers.
Let's get it here.
Glass cleaner.
So what does that show?
We got the perfect thing too. He a big, you in the middle.
If
they got a stretch for it, he's done.
And
you know they sweaty. Look. Yep, you know they sweaty. Done.
It's not
They're done.
They just do it to keep. They just adjust things to make sure that the spring, that Easter falls at a certain.
You already know.
Ordered by the Pope, and it's usually around March 20th, March 21st.
Cooked.
And we'll look at that and say it's the vernal equinox. It's not. It's not equal parts night and day.
Oh, let's go.
We don't need that.
Let's go.
I went into the scriptures according to the Most High, and I know exactly when equal parts night and day is. I found it out.
You know
years
they
ago.
pushing. You know they're
So,
sweaty.
I don't need to check it every year. Why? Because it's a complete 364-day cycle. A year will always fall where? On the first day of the week. The year will always end on the last day of the week. The same way, so-called Saturday to Sunday is the first day of the week.
Tell him he pushing
and so-called Friday to sundown Sunday. Friday to sundown Saturday is the last day of the week. The year's the same. To Saturday, Sunday. A complete Sabbath throughout the year. 52 of them. So that way I don't have to calculate each year and find out what the observatory is doing and what that's doing and whether or not it tilts differently, because they even tell you that from year to year their observatory is going to be wrong. But I don't think it's a coincidence. The year the Most High gave us the information, it was equal to the second. Through all calculations, it was equal parts night, equal parts day. Now, so I thought I would resolve it with you by, and a few more scriptures, and I'm going to
gotta pass that out.
follow up on some of the things I said. I will be showing you that Christ didn't rise on a Sunday at all. He rose on a Tuesday. And I'm going to show that. But before I do, let's go to my board, and I figured that I would show you this in a more simpler form.
Wrong one. Dunk that though. You good.
Here it is, a board. Right? Here's my board here. Right? Now.
Yeah, no, he's switching now, bro.
Of the year here. Right?
That's why I sent him the message.
Did we know a first day is what? Saturday sundown to Sunday sundown. So we're going to just call this Sunday. So the first day of the year will come in Sunday or Saturday sundown to Sunday. Right? This, at this point, would be called a new month bringing in a spring. A new month right here is an intercalary day, which would bring in the spring, and this would be a Sabbath. That's a Sabbath day. That's a Sabbath. And then you'll have months here. 1 month, 30 days. Another month, 30 days. And another month, 31 days, because this is the intercalary day. A new month. That's why you have that extra day there, which would bring us into summer. That would be also what? A Sabbath reminding Israel that a new season has just come in. Right?
Push. Wow.
You notice that? Then, the 31 days here is because it's an intercalary day. It's letting us know it's separating the spring ends, and the summer begins. You got it? Now we're going to do another 30 days, another 30 days, and now what we have is another 31, which is another intercalary day, which is a Sabbath.
Ain't it though, bro?
And we need to begin a harvest to actually begin to get our food for the winter.
Nah, you know ain't nobody afraid of them.
Right? We start harvesting during the autumn, and this Sabbath will remind us that it's what? It's storing time for all of Israel. 30, 30, and now we've stored and we're prepared for the winter. We have now another, we have that month ending with 31 days, which is an intercalary day. Another Sabbath that will prepare us for the winter.
I've been told y'all that.
Winter now is here.
But the gameplay better.
30, 30, and another intercalary day, which is what?
It's quicker.
52 Sabbaths.
But yeah, if it wasn't pushing, it'd be so much fat. It'd be so fat.
Complete year. I don't have to do. The first month is 30, second month is 30, third month 31. It's about to switch to summer. 30, 30, 31.
Hey, send them
one is actually an indicator that what?
Bring them to
30, 30, 31. The season is about to change.
Blue Stripes just sent.
And here's another Sabbath right here, which is this one here, that gives us a complete cycle.
Too. God darn it. What up, bro?
Which gives us now a complete cycle to start all over again. Right?
I be wanting to bang them niggas, bro.
One more thing before I end here. Now,
they be extra sweaty.
See, I was tired of couldn't talk because I'd have told you to switch. Because the class wasn't going on.
Equal parts night and equal parts day
that's all
comes
we
right here.
needed to do, bro.
After it comes right here,
Like,
this
they is
first
pushing
month
extra,
right here.
bro. I don't even know how to stretch pushing me like that.
Like way down the court, bro.
And then can run off.
Now I got equal parts night, equal parts day. Within the first 30 days is what?
I want to learn how to
And the second
push,
week of
but
this
it's
30
gross.
days is Passover.
Shit, this whole R shooting circle.
I wish if it's a push,
See?
shouldn't it be a way we
That's
can
Passover.
stop it?
So I counted 14 days from the equal parts night, equal part day. So I know the Passover falls 14 days from what? The equal parts night.
That's what I'm saying.
And the equal parts
We
day.
should
Yeah,
try
especially
to
if
hit
he's stronger
circle.
than the nigga.
14 days.
I wonder if circle will
and
work.
that's Passover.
Yeah, my strength like a 94 and niggas be
At
pushing
the
to
end of
this.
the unleavened bread,
I'm gonna hit
I
circle
count
next time
7
somebody push
Sabbaths,
me.
and
Pure sharp
I'm
point
where?
guard gonna push a fucking
I'm
center.
at first fruits.
All the way down the court. Like,
See that?
like nigga, what?
So
Yeah,
everything is
no,
calculated.
You know what I mean?
through
I feel like that
Sabbaths,
shit
bro.
should be
That's
just
why
for
I
the
say count
cages.
7 Sabbaths. If I'm on that 52 week
Cause the cages, they don't got no
I know
fouls.
exactly when the Passover
Oh,
falls.
for real?
I know exactly when
No
first
fouls, no
falls
out of
for all
bounds.
the holy days
Oh, I don't play
in
cages.
one calendar.
Me neither.
heavenly
I just
year,
tried it. I went to check it
according
out
to the
though.
Most High, and that is what was given to Enoch.
I can stand in the cages, but to have it here.
Yeah, I
See
couldn't
that?
play it because all that
Now, if
jumping
someone
in the
says that
air and
364 days is too
oh,
short,
straight.
I have no argument with you.
Right,
Follow
nigga
whatever
shoot
you
a
Yeah,
three. This
that's
nigga
exactly what I'm saying.
jump, bounce
What the
off a
Most High
circle
said.
and try to
And
block
then
it.
when the Gentiles
Nigga.
adjust it for you after being wrong again,
I be cheesy as hell
then
in
you
there.
can
I
say
ain't
this is
gonna
what
lie.
they told you again.
Oh yeah, I'm
I played
straight.
probably like 10 games. And that
They
shit.
need to
I'm all
cancel the cages and fix this
I'm
pushing.
okay.
Yeah,
You
they
wanna,
need to
listen,
fix
you can
that
follow
push.
that if you would like. You would be
Take
the
them
first.
cages off, whatever you gotta do,
Okay.
and fix these
I'm just
niggas
here to
running
relay
around
the
here
information
pushing.
for you. I'm just letting you know what I'm going to be doing. What we'll be doing. Okay?
Basketball game where that shit ever
Now.
happened. I don't understand what they was thinking.
No, I'm trying to get this 95 though.
I'm gonna hit you, bro. I'm gonna
See,
stick you, nigga. I'm gonna hit you.
let me tell you.
Bro, you sitting here pushing me out of.
I think a lot of y'all been sleeping on these calendars.
We got an hour
Yeah, I hate
and
that
40
shit.
minutes.
I'm gonna tell
bro.
you that right now. You've been,
I'm just
a lot of
shy
you've
now.
been sleeping.
We gotta go on a win streak right
So
here.
it doesn't matter if the day of the week number is different from year to year, the number or the 14th or 15th.
Where you
when
at?
you look at a calendar. Because why? It's the day that's fixed.
No, I'm saying where
not
you
the
at?
date you
Like
would have.
your
You see how their
percentage.
calendars are. So if your holy day falls on what?
I'm at
You
85.
Yeah,
got it.
97.
If it falls on a Sabbath this year, it's going to fall on a Sabbath
Get this
next year, like
95.
the Bible says, at the
Get a
fixed
quick
time,
96. And then
at this
that's,
same time next year. At the fixed time, the
and
same
then
time
2 bars
next
the rest
year.
of the way.
If it was on day 1 today, it's going to be on day 1
Yeah,
next
I
year.
think
If it
it's
was
2
on day
bars the
7
rest of the way, right?
this year, it'll be on
Or
day
it's 1
7
bar to
last year.
99.
Now that we know that the first
It's
day
2 bars
of the
to
week
9. It's 1 bar to 96.
is
2 bars to
Saturday sundown
97.
to
2
Sunday
bars to
sundown.
98. 1 bar to
that gives
99.
us an indicator, or when
That's what I heard.
Christ
I don't know. Check
gave
it.
up the ghost, and a new
Oh, I got a
feast
baby.
was preparing when Joseph of Arimathea
Oh yeah, this is easy. This is
requested
easy right
Christ's
here.
body.
Last
For
time
what
they got
feast?
away with
The
foolishness.
feast of unleavened bread, which comes in
Now
a day after
you on the
Passover.
purple dude. I'm on the same dude.
So Christ gave up the ghost Saturday
Yep.
night.
And he on the lockdown. Money.
He can back that lockdown.
It was
Yep.
the Sabbath.
That lockdown really
You know,
ain't
the
got
first
nothing
day
coming.
of the week of the year is from Sunday sundown, from Saturday sundown to Sunday sundown. Well, the first
Don't
week
worry about
was
it.
My
Passover,
bad. It looked like
7
there was no
days.
space.
Yeah, ain't
That's
nobody
when
even
Christ and the
tripping over that.
disciples, the first
I gotta
week
call her on the
from
switch.
that equal parts night and day, had dinner. That night, it was Friday night when they took him. He was before the council
Yeah.
all night, And
You're supposed to pump
Saturday is
fake
when
twice
he
right
had
there.
to walk with the cross.
Yo.
Okay? Saturday.
Ah, they hating.
He gave
I
up the
was finna
ghost
dunk on them.
sundown Saturday.
Oh, let him post them.
Folks,
Stay out the way.
is when he gave up the ghost. And he rose 3 days later.
Yep, cook them.
Tuesday is when he rose.
Every time.
Not Sunday.
Now he's
So if we know it was 14 days from the equal parts night
Look,
and
here
day,
they go, here
it
they
had
go.
to have been a Friday
Here
night,
they go.
according to
Here
what
they
they
go.
call Friday or a Sabbath. See, the
Just pick
Sabbath
sides off
has
the
always
screen.
been assigned
Get
for
your
us.
ankles. Get your
And
ankles.
our Lord was given up on that day as a sign.
That's what shot it.
See? Sabbath is when Christ was given up. You can only know this
Lord.
if you resolve and know the correct calendar.
What?
Now, some of you may ask, well,
Shut.
why does it say the first day of the week
Rip. That
when
rip.
the Marys
Yep.
came
Switch, switch,
to the
switch.
sepulchre,
You're going to have to switch.
right?
I see it.
After
Yeah,
Christ
they
rose,
pushing. Yeah.
when he was already gone.
They're going to push again, so
Right?
we're going to have to switch.
Let's go there, Elder Lawyer, and let's get that out of the Greek tongue. Because the New Testament was translated out of the Greek.
Don't worry about it.
Now we understand that a
My
calendar
bad,
year
I
is
just switched
resolved through
TVs.
Sabbaths or
The
intervals
shop feel like it's a little
of
earlier than
Sabbaths.
downstairs.
You have your equal parts night, equal
What?
parts day, first day of the week,
See how they play?
first
He
day
off,
of
he off.
the year. You count
Wow.
what?
Wow.
You count 7 days, or you count
It's all
to 7,
good.
and you have your first Sabbath, Friday night to Saturday.
Bruh, come
Then you
on.
count 7 and have what?
Now watch out for the
Another
lockdowns.
week or
Man, I ain't
Sabbath,
stunned that lockdown,
which
but
is
yeah, he the
14
reason why I
days for
stole
the
the
equal
ball.
part night and day for the first month, and that gives you
Look, bro,
Passover,
you gonna have to hit one of
Friday
them,
night.
bruh.
Christ is sitting with
Yeah, I
his
ain't gonna lie. I
disciples
usually hit them. It's just I
Friday
just switched the
night.
TV.
Look,
I gotta
get in the corner.
at a fixed time. So you might ask, well, why does it say? Well, think about this. And that's why brothers and sisters have to learn the holy days written of in Leviticus 23. Listen to me clearly, folks. Christ fulfilled that, okay, by actually having himself be the sacrificial lamb on the same day that was given in Leviticus 23. He fulfilled it on that same day. On top of that, 7 weeks from that time when he gave up the ghost, what happened? First fruits or Pentecost happened on the 50th day from Passover. Passover, you count 7 Sabbaths after Passover, and that gives you first fruits, where the Holy Spirit came down and gave the disciples the ministry you see before you.
No.
See? 7 Sabbaths. So we talk about intervals of Sabbaths. Passover, then 7 Sabbaths. So it's all resolved.
We gotta lock up though,
within
bro.
that
We still can win.
364 day
it's that pushing shit
or
for real.
Yeah, it's really that pushing. But that's what I'm saying. So next time you see your dude run off like that, you're gonna have to come and grab my man.
The Holy Spirit came down to begin the ministry.
Yeah.
You don't understand the Old Testament holy days, you're not,
because they're gonna push.
This. But you must observe it according to the equal
Because
parts night.
this nigga ain't gonna be able to do nothing else.
And we've already resolved that for you. You can go around and confuse yourself and try to figure it out now. But we did that years ago. We're beyond the time of going to the observatory and getting that, because we were in it. That's when it was in its infancy. When we were putting things together and still getting the information after getting it from the Most High and studying it. We don't even have to deal with the observatories and go to date and times and all that. We don't have to do that.
I got him.
Okay. It's finished.
See?
Because once you got 364, the cycle continues on and on and on, and we just have to be on those days observing those days within that cycle. Period.
That was still.
Right? Now that we understand that a full year is really intervals of 7, it helps us understand when Christ rose according to the New Testament when you look at the Greek.
Tried to push me.
Read that in the book of Luke real quick.
I shouldn't even fouled him, man, bro. I was.
Yes, get the one in Matthew, yes.
St. Matthew chapter 28, verse 1.
Yes.
In the beginning of the Sabbath, as it began to dawn toward the first day of the week.
The first day of the week, which we know is what?
Come on, man.
To Sunday sundown. Read.
Came Mary Magdalene and the other Mary to see the sepulchre.
Now, this first day of the week isn't our Friday sundown to Saturday sundown.
Still.
Right? Not at all.
I should have shot
We know
that.
what the first day of the week is Saturday sundown, to Sunday sundown. That's our first day of the week, right?
We still can win, bro. I'm trying to tell you, we can lock them up.
But this isn't the first day of the week when you read the Greek. Right? Now, this first day of the week, which is Sunday, is what churches use.
He can
to
shoot,
say,
but I went for the steal.
Now, this is our excuse to use Sunday, the worship of the sun.
I be mad, bro. Like,
the new Sabbath.
You right though, yo, you so right
because
though.
when they went to the sepulchre on the first day of
No, I'm not. I'm gonna stop. Cause they always shake me.
Was gone.
It's like they always know I'm going for it.
Right? But let's see what this is saying in the Greek. Read.
So they have the word here.
Yo.
Here is opse, which means evening.
Especially right there.
Next they have the word day, which means yes. And the word for week is Sabbaton.
It's Sabbaton.
Hey, hop on.
The word there for week is Sabbaton.
It's Sabbaton. Right? So it's not saying the first day of the week. It's saying what? The first interval between Sabbaths. Let's get that in your Strongs. Let's get that in your Strongs now.
In the Strong's here it says, this is G 45.
Wow.
Read.
Sabbaton of Hebrew origin.
Of Hebrew origin.
The
Sabbath,
i.e. Shabbat, or day of weekly repose from secular avocation. It goes here to say, a Sinite, an example, the interval between two Sabbaths.
The interval between what?
The interval between two Sabbaths.
The interval between two Sabbaths. You have the Sabbath when Christ was given up.
Unbelievable.
And a Sabbath coming.
What?
Okay. Which is first fruits. So Christ rose between two Sabbaths, the interval between two Sabbaths. Passover and at the end of first fruits. Christ rose in between that. See that? So it should read, let's go back to Matthew.
Matthew 28 and 1.
Read it.
In the beginning or in the end of the Sabbath, as it began to dawn between the first day, or toward the first day of the week.
As it began to dawn, read.
Toward the first day of the week.
Towards the first between Sabbaths. The first between Sabbaths. Or the first week between Sabbaths, when you read it in the Greek. Read.
Came Mary Magdalene and the other Mary to see the sepulchre.
Exactly. It wasn't the first day of the week. It was the first between Sabbaths when you read it in the Greek.
He ain't
and the Gentiles know
because he could have
that it
went
wasn't
down
Sunday
there,
when
bro.
Christ rose. It was an interval between Sabbaths. You can only know that by calculating or knowing the calculation of the 7 Sabbaths, which leads to what? First fruits. So the interval between the first week from Passover, the first fruits, Christ rose. Go on.
Yeah, after I hit 93, I could switch to my slideshow, my point guard or something.
But we can't lose no more.
Beyond into one sabaton of
Cause I'm like, we done lost 3 games.
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. If niggas keep losing, I'm going to
I'm
crack.
them Jordans look nasty.
It's an interval, and it's starting with the
Them
first.
patent leather ones. They look
Oh, they
nasty.
trash.
says, now it is
Oh, I got the
evening
bum.
of the Sabbath, at the lighting up into one
I
of
don't
the
even know how
Sabbaths.
niggas
One
be
of the
keeping the
Sabbaths,
game
this is
after
how
that.
it's read in the Greek. One of the Sabbaths, which is the first week of first fruits, right? I mean, the first week of what you would call the Feast of Unleavened Bread.
So I let my TV downstairs. My shit, perfect shot.
So it didn't even
Should
say
be
the
green.
first day of the week in the Greek tongue from whence this is translated. From where this is translated.
Yeah.
Look at it
You got
yourself.
a smart TV, bro.
But the church are using the first day of the week.
Why you
to
got a
claim
smart TV?
that
This nigga
was
didn't quit.
Sunday. Impossible.
Why do I have a smart TV?
Yeah.
Christ was crucified.
You know they be watching you, bro.
He was given up on
Niggas, I
Friday,
gotta say it.
crucified on Saturday, and died.
Nigga, them smart TVs,
Saturday
no,
night.
on
Be
the
able to
TV
go
they
Saturday
can,
night.
on them
So if you
smart
count
TVs
3
they can
days from
literally
that,
see you.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday is when Christ
Period.
rose. An interval
That's how you
between
feel?
the 2 Sabbaths. Tuesday.
Yeah, he quitting too.
Study to show thyself approved. Now what the Christians are going to do?
Oh, you
He
should have
didn't
went to go
die
get it.
on a Sunday. It's a lie to have all of our people follow the ways of the Gentiles and the worship.
Yeah, you do need it. Don't even go there.
You have on one side the Gentiles under the Catholic Church worshiping the
You
sun
ain't hitting them
as a
threes
luminary.
unless you got that
And
boost.
on the other side, you have the Jewish powers worshiping the moon, like the Babylonians did.
And I ain't talking about the corner, because you probably can hit the corner threes. I'm talking about them arch.
Furthermore, just filling in
Yeah.
even if you believe that Christ rose on a Sunday, there's no scripture that
So
says
tired
that
of
the
these
Son
ones,
rose on a
bro.
Sunday. If you believe that,
Yeah, the
that
computer
you
is
must now
gonna be
change
on
the
you, bro.
Sabbath to Sunday.
Exactly. Hope you all can see that. There's no excuses now. You can't say, well, Christ rose on a Sunday, so I'm going to switch to holy days. No. That disconnect us
He can
from the
shoot.
Most High.
I'm straight.
And that sign he made between us and him, which is Sabbath.
Corner.
See that?
My bad. Shut up.
Now,
Shut up. Shut up.
last scripture
That's
before
all.
we answer questions and wish you all God. I believe they were edified today on this.
Man, calm down,
And I
man.
have a few announcements, of course.
Here. Here, man.
Good
Get the
bucket.
dunk the ball. Oh, look. That's why I ain't throw it. That's why I ain't throw it right there.
Okay.
It's a computer, bro.
They say we need a lot
Hey.
of
So I'm going to throw it to
where
you.
it is. Let me cut it up a little bit. I'll cut it up a little bit. That's fine.
Oh, okay.
Now,
what was he at?
real quick here.
You by you.
Give it a little bit more game there. All right.
How was that
Matter
extra,
of
bro?
fact, let me show the brothers and sisters real quick. So that they'll see it. In the Greek
Oh,
tongue
okay.
stuff.
My bad. I
Give me the
thought that
chapter
was a
and verse
good
on that again.
pass.
Matthew 28, verse 1.
Yes. Yeah, I can show them right here.
Yeah.
Stupid AI.
Let's go. Good D.
The computer boxed me out.
Wow. Bro, I
And
gotta
D.
stop this
This
nigga
is
in
what
the
I wanted to
purple,
show,
bro.
right? Yeah. So.
How's the computer on this,
Let
man?
me show it to you all real quick.
How this nigga guarding me?
Yeah, that tells you something, bro.
Yeah.
Mmm.
This. Window, right?
Trash. Trash. Good pickup. Don't worry about it. We good.
All right, let me show it to you real quick.
Oh man, the computer is seriously guarding me, bro.
And I'll bring it down so you can
Oh my goodness,
Okay.
Give me that. Give me
As
that.
you can
That's
see
us.
here, brothers and sisters, I have it in front of you on eSword so that you can study it yourself in your own convenient time concerning Christ's
Bro, the Most High sent. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Niggas don't want to hear this,
when you go to Matthew
but the Most High
28
sent
and
Elder
1,
Ricard now.
and at the end of the Sabbath, as it began to dawn toward the first day of the week, right?
It's all good, man. Calm down,
When you
man.
look at
Get
that first,
Lynch's
it says what?
Let me see that.
First,
you
one.
know.
And then when you go here to week,
Why'd I say, oh my God?
it states, it's not showing up on their screen.
Why? Because I said something about Elder Ricard?
Okay, it's not showing up on your screen, but when it says week, it says Shabbaton. A matter of fact, if I pull it down here, they'll see it, right?
You don't know
It should
about
show
what?
up down here. It used to show up down here, right?
About Elder Ricard? Oh, no, that's certified. It's certified, bro.
Yep.
What you mean?
Yeah, it's certified, bro.
Let me see.
That the Most High
But it's still not showing up.
Yep, I can tell. I can tell,
bro.
bro. Like, no lie, I can tell. Like, do you sin?
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
Okay, when you sin, do you feel that thing in your heart?
The Greek word for that is 4-5.
Not your gut, your heart. It's like it's being written down.
Or a weekly repose, and then at the middle of that it says that is the interval between two Sabbaths. 4, 5.
Yep, like they wrote that down against me. Like
two
that was
Sabbaths.
bad.
Okay, it's talking about the interval between the Passover and the next week, which would be the end of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. That's when Christ.
But Elder Ricard, oh wow, I got pushed.
Now, let's get Colossians real quick.
But I don't know how we lost that.
Okay, you can.
Yeah, I do know how we lost that because of
when
me.
you go into the book of Colossians, you would have
and you was 0 for 2.
Who's cooking this
push
nigga?
back and claim, well, no man can judge us according to.
Yo, when I get that post going badge, that post spin is unstoppable.
Scripture to claim it's okay to follow Sunday as their main day of worship.
98%.
Let's clear that up also.
You at 98% to a 93?
Colossians chapter 2, verse 16.
Come on.
Let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink or in respect of an holy day.
So they'll use this to say, no man can judge me if I eat pork. But it's not speaking
because they're the only people that go straight to the scriptures.
Drinks were
like it's nothing else but the
in
scriptures.
the Old Testament.
Everybody, bro, I didn't look at everybody else, bro. I don't know if you know that.
Shrimp, crab, or
but
lobster included.
For sure,
in
I didn't study everybody else. I'm talking about the other brothers too. I didn't study all of their doctrines.
Come on.
Or in respect of an holy day.
Like, it's not even a question, bro. I studied all their doctrines.
Worshiping on a Sunday.
Ain't straight.
They're not rightly dividing the word of truth, folks. In this context, this is speaking of the holy days.
These are the only ones, bro. You don't even understand.
Paul and the disciples were saying
all the other Hebrew Israelite camps
can no longer judge
be on different holy days
for not following the sacrifice.
like it's not even like a question, bro.
We're now under the sacrifice.
And it's crazy how they following the G. I can tell that they following the GOCC because they holy days of them mysteriously start coming on our holy days. But they ain't even gonna say nothing.
Nothing to do with someone.
They just start following Elder Ricard holy days.
A Gentile observance and saying, "Well, you can't judge me for me following a Chinese."
I didn't see it, bro. Like I'm telling you, bro.
This day or that day. It wasn't speaking.
Bro,
of
Elder
that. It was
Ricard
speaking
now,
specifically of the
bro.
holy days.
Now when I say sent, don't think I'm saying like
For in
that's
respect
Christ
of an
or
holy
something.
day,
I'm
or of the
saying,
new month,
when it says
I'm
the new
saying
moon,
that,
it means the new month,
bro,
or of the Sabbath
they
day.
ain't
or
lying,
of
bro.
the Sabbath days.
They
That's
straight
not saying
research
don't follow the Sabbath
and they
days.
straight
It's
Bible.
saying you can't judge me for not
Period.
following it.
Period.
Like
It ain't
Pharisees
nothing
and
else, bro.
scribes
It's
would
like
follow
it's
it.
like
That's
nothing.
all it's saying.
You gonna get this Bible and this research.
Okay. Now, you have one more thing to bring, Elder Lloyd?
One last scripture in
Yeah.
Isaiah 66, verse 22.
Good
For
deed.
as the
Good
new
deed.
heavens and the new earth, which I will make,
I don't know, because you
which I
did that
will
little
make,
back and
shall
forth
remain
thing.
before me, saith the Lord. So shall your seed
Yeah.
name, or so shall your seed and your name remain. Key verse, verse number 23. And it shall come to pass that from one new
What?
month to
I
another,
tried to
One new
pass
month
that.
to another.
Don't
and
worry
from
about
one
it.
Sabbath to
What a
another,
bum.
One Sabbath to another.
shall
What a
all
bum.
flesh come to worship before me,
Stretch.
saith the Lord.
And that's crystal clear. One,
All we gotta
one
do is
month
slow
to another,
down, bro.
one
Slow
Sabbath
down.
to another. That
Yeah.
we should come and do what?
I'll talk about Elder Ricard
Worship
after this.
the Most High.
I threw that.
I wanted to bring this out because why? You need to be confirmed.
Bro, this
Yeah,
nigga in
it
the
sound
red
like a
ain't
wreck.
finna rip
And on
me,
top
bro.
of that, one must be able to defend the understanding they're bringing forth. I don't want you
I
to
threw that
organically
too,
just
bro.
follow us to some Passover
Like,
or to some
unbelievable,
holy
man.
day
Now they playing.
without being able to understand why we observe it at this time.
I don't know who ripping
Like
me.
I ignorantly did coming up in the
First
church.
it was the nigga in the
Or
red, then the
One of
nigga in
them
the
is a
white.
lockdown.
in my early years of being an Israelite. I don't want no one just to blindly follow us to a place that the Most High say we shouldn't be dealing with or
I ain't
observing.
never met a stretch that could stop me.
You should have the details to understand whether or
Give me
not
that.
you are worshiping
Wow.
on a day the Most High said worship.
That was a good play.
Okay? You should have the knowledge
I ain't
to
mad at
understand
him.
it. Okay, and I hope this class today helped with your edification.
Bro, you should
Okay.
have what? You should have moved.
Now, there's one other thing, Elder William, I think I had here. Or, if you would like,
Oh, you ain't even go get
I
no
wanted
boots.
to show this.
You need a whooping.
How now, since they have
It's all
began
good, bro.
to destroy the understanding of when an equal day or equal night comes.
Wow, I
want to
can't
show this real
move.
quick.
Good D.
And I just pulled this up, right? I pulled this up and said, well, let me look into what the Gentiles are doing.
So, I keep forgetting one of these niggas is a lockdown.
Oh,
Do
bro.
some research.
Yeah, I'm about to hit the wreck, y'all. I ain't gonna lie.
Let me do some research and see
Yeah, I
what
ain't
we
mad
have
either,
here.
bro. But we ain't finna
I'm
lose this
tired of
game,
all of
though.
this running around
And
now.
I
We can
started
win
to
this.
pull up calendars of the Gentiles. Right? You got your prehistory, ancient near history, Babylonian Persian, old Persian calendar, Zoroastrian calendar, dealing with the moon. Modifications by the Parthians. We didn't have to modify, right? If we followed the Most
Should've
High's
threw that
true
down
calendar,
low.
right? They give you all
And
the
you
history,
ain't
the classical
okay.
Greek,
Okay.
Hellenistic
I
period,
got diamond. I
Okay.
got diamond. We out
India,
here.
Roman Empire,
Okay.
Middle Ages, right?
Let's go.
Here's
Let's
the deep
go.
part about
I
this,
got
brothers
him.
and sisters,
Oh, let's go.
while I'm bringing this up.
You
Oh, I
need to
thought this
grab
one had the
that.
ball.
One moment.
You gotta
The
grab
reason I'm
that.
bringing this up is
My bad.
none
I
of
gotta
these people
crash.
agree on time at all.
See what I'm saying? Bro, stuff
All the
like that
nations are
is
confused.
extra, man.
It's different times a year for other people. China, no telling, they probably in year 30,000 by now. No telling what they doing over there. Okay? None of them are resolving time, on the same calendar.
Nothing,
None of them. But yet you look at us and say, well, hold up. Why aren't
Man,
you
shut up,
setting your
bro.
Passover after what the Romans have given you or the Jewish people have given you?
What is this guy doing?
Okay, you might think we're the odd men out. Okay, I'll take
No
that.
way.
Thank you.
We're gonna
Thank
deal with
you.
52
Thank you.
Sabbaths in a year. That's it. That's
Never
what the
met a
Most High
stretch
gave
that
us.
could stop my player.
We're gonna let the confused, the Gentiles,
I'm mad
stay
Dion
confused
just
until
sent
Christ
me
comes
an
and
invitation.
put them in order. Okay.
I swear I gotta fuck with that shit.
Now, I have a few announcements to
Good.
make. I have a few announcements. I know it got loud. This thing. I turned
He
this
ain't
thing
gonna hit that
real
one.
loud. Let me turn it back down here.
I mean, he open. I can't
That
help
nigga
it.
know he need beats. Know he need boost.
Alrighty.
I
Good day
don't know
today.
why he keep
Praise the
pulling
Most
like.
High. I have to go and get some of the mail today, of course.
Oh, that's all.
Because I know
Oh
it's
shit.
inundated over. I got to pick up the mail because I know.
Bro, I ain't even really shoot
Might
that.
as
I
well
It's
start
all
passed
done.
it.
shooting
All
on
That's
done.
why I
YouTube.
I
was
need to get
off.
in there for this academy tomorrow. Speaking of the academy, let me do some announcements here. Okay. Matter of fact, can you do these for me real
Yes,
quick?
sir. Yes, sir. We do. All right. First and foremost.
Oh, you have them in front of you.
Yep.
Oh, you the man.
First and foremost, we would like to mention that enrollment has been extended for the academy. So, if you would like to enroll in the
Wow.
academy but are planning for Passover, please let us know so that we can hold a reservation for you until after Passover. Of
Bless
course,
you.
the first week of the academy starts tomorrow. Just so happens
It's all bad. I know what it is. It's just park.
So we know a lot of you are planning your trip.
Not the dark.
To be there for the feast. So, again, if you're having that issue, just let us
Man,
know
that shit
and
made
we'll
no
make sure
record.
that we
Ah,
make the
I'm
reservation for
0 for 4.
you so that you can have a seat or spot in the Passover or in the
No, I'm sorry, Lynch.
academy.
You all good, bro.
The next academy begins Sunday, March
you
17th
straight?
with lesson number
We
1.
stinking up the place.
Please note lesson 2 will be taught on Sunday, March 31st to allow for Passover attendance.
Back to Elder
Nah,
Ricardo.
sometimes it's hard running
Normally
on
be week
2
number
days.
2 will be rescheduled for the following Sunday because, of course,
Unless you got like a
Passover
consistent stretch.
next week.
Like usually my sister's green or something, but I just came upstairs.
At historytimes.org or gathering as one.
It's
The
a
number
new
Yeah, I
TV.
don't know. We don't got no stretch. We ain't got no third.
Lesson today, you got to see certain elements.
You out here rolling.
Oh, my shit right here now.
Little bits of Hebrew,
It
little
look
bits
better
of,
though.
visual display with
TV
the
look
board as
better,
well as
but
documentation, so on and so
they
forth.
got that.
Just a
I gotta shoot a
microcosm
little
of
earlier
the
than I'm
information,
used
the
to.
wealth of information we cover within the 12 weeks of the
My
academy.
bad, y'all.
So again,
Yeah,
if you're
and
interested
still
but
don't
you
care.
are still, working on getting the Passover and planning your Passover trip, just let us know and we'll make sure a seat will
Yeah,
be
just go get
reserved
that
for you
boost,
in
bro.
the
I get
academy.
that with you.
When it comes to the GOCC Hebrew calendar,
And I'm
those
look. I'm
calendars
finna
will
leave the
be
party and then go to the
available for purchase at
go to
Passover
a new
Vendor
one.
Exhibit Friday. So for those who will be at Passover,
Not the party, but
at the vendor
the
setting,
squad.
you will be able to purchase the calendar if you would like.
Then
You
I'm
can
finna
also
drive.
order your
I'm
calendar
finna go to the
online at
subway.
gatheringofchrist.org or historytimes.org. Last but not
Yeah,
least,
because we got
when
an
it comes
hour
to
left.
Passover, we understand that Passover is this coming week, and we ask everyone to please be very careful while traveling to
Where
and
I'm
from
going.
Passover. Leave yourself plenty of time so you're not rushing.
Yeah, you finna get
Please
boots,
make
right?
sure to stay alert on the roads and choose a seasoned
Yeah,
driver.
just join me,
May
nigga. It's
Yahweh
another
bless you
full
this
park
coming
I'm looking
Passover
at.
and keep us all safe, and may He lift up our spirits.
No, the subway, bro. I just went to a new park.
And I want to say also that
Nigga, I hate
again,
nigga. You
this
know
is
they
a
put
celebration,
cardboard
but
in
it's
their
also
bread.
us remembering Christ's sacrifice coming up this week. Okay? It's not just a get together. It's not a fashion show. It's not a party. Even though we all want to be dressing
They
nice and
do,
all
for
that.
real, nigga.
We can never forget. I want to remind
Subway
brothers
put
what we're there
cardboard
for.
in their bread, and I'm mad. I went to
We're
they,
there
like a while ago. I went to
graciously
Subway,
to
and
honor
there's like,
and respect our Lord and Savior who died on the cross for our sins.
yeah,
Okay.
our bread
And
is
to
kosher
celebrate this
for
great
so the
awakening
Jews can eat it.
of God's people coming together in total peace.
Yes.
Usually they claim when our people come
But they
together,
put
that
cardboard
there's issues,
in.
problems,
Like,
fights.
nigga, how
One thing I
kosher
can
is
say,
that?
I've never felt so warm, welcoming, and loving than at these Passovers.
How you know that cardboard?
So
Bruh,
these
look it
Passovers
up.
are an example against the wicked stereotypes they have on us. thousands of people.
All right, well, I don't
people
even
are
know.
coming together
Y'all
in
niggas don't be
respect of
looking
our
this
God,
stuff up,
to honor
bro.
our God. And yet
I
there's
got a
no
rim
publicity
protector with me.
on that, or the righteousness and the
That was pretty
goodwill
good
that
last
comes.
time.
Whatever the case is,
They on vainglory.
They have limited the capacity of how many of us can actually gather there. There's a capacity limit, and we're well beyond that limit.
I can't.
So
You gotta join me.
I thank the Most High for allowing us
My
to
little
come before
thing don't
you
go down to R.
and
Last
be a
one on
part of
here
this
is
gathering
H.
and awakening.
Flip here.
But again, I just wanted to put this out for the brothers that will be coming.
No, nigga, you right here. Oh, okay. No, you not at the top of my list. That's what I'm saying. Cause you a R, I gotta go all the way down to the R's.
None of that. We're gonna be in the spirit. We're gonna bring forth the
Right, yours. You ain't never a friend in my neighborhood.
and celebrate.
That's what I'm trying to tell
The
you.
real Passover, the true Passover.
I don't know.
And I mean, the festivities, the songs, you name it. I can't wait. I'm anticipating a great Passover. Okay. Now, I'll just open it up for about 5 minutes for Q&As, and then we'll wish you all.
No, bro. What I'm trying to tell you is that it's not you. Like, it's because your name is a R.
Okay, if you can't.
And I got so many friends. So on mine, I only go to H. It depends on how many friends on.
We're going to have a live stream. So you can come to this channel and celebrate.
Yeah, I got like 300-400
and in the meantime,
friends.
At the same time we're having dinner, you can have you some lamb.
Yeah.
Some good
so it ain't
in front of you with your family,
like,
and observe it.
it's crazy.
Observe it.
Like, I can't see your name.
Your wine there,
wow, I'm back to the end of the O.
You know how we used to do it when we celebrate Christmas.
We gotta go on the
Christmas.
Winning
So
Street
here it is,
this last
Passover.
hour.
Have a family dinner, and put it up on your computer and have Passover with us from your home. Celebrate with us. Right here. We'll be right here streaming live. Okay? All praises be to the Most High. And make sure you have unleavened bread. Next week when we do the Passover, make sure Friday sundown, before Friday sundown next week, you put out all of anything in your house that has leaven. Okay, that means if you have bread, cookies, anything with leaven in it, put out your house, or at least put it away, and don't eat it until the Sabbath, until the Sabbath is over, until next week.
Period.
No leaven for 1 week. Okay, we're under grace, so you don't have to just throw everything out of your house. I see people become over righteous and throw everything out. We can't afford to be throwing out food.
There you go.
But you can just fast from leaven for 7 days. Don't eat anything with leaven in it. That's all. Okay.
I was open.
And be careful going on these websites and trying to, because you have people try to become lords over you, say you shouldn't need this, and try to give you a list of stuff. Don't do this, don't it. Listen, in a nutshell, don't eat any bread or cakes with leaven for a week. It's too tedious trying to figure out what they have stuff.
I learned that move. I don't know what you're talking about.
The whole reason of the Feast of Unleavened Bread was the fact that we left Egypt in haste. And because of that, we couldn't leaven our bread.
Exactly.
Okay, that was the key thing.
Stop letting that nigga do you, bro. You're pure.
This feast.
Yeah.
1 Corinthians 5.
Yeah.
And 7. Purge out therefore the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump, as ye are unleavened. For even Christ, our Passover, is sacrificed with us. Therefore let us keep the feast not with old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness, but with the
I
unleavened
got him. I
bread
got
of
him.
sincerity
I got him.
and
I
truth.
got him.
So this should be the
Oh, that was a
during
block.
not just
Yeah.
abstaining from physical leaven, but also the
Exactly.
spiritual leaven.
Exactly. Exactly. So the key focus is what leaven we have in us that's separating us from our brothers and sisters or from Christ. What leaven we have in us,
Motherfucker.
we have to put that out. So that's a
She
reminder
using
while
my
we're not
move on
eating
me.
leaven
That's
and
right.
yeast, because a little bit affects the whole lump. So if you have something, some malice or some evil or something you're
Oh,
feeling
I
about
should've
another
shot
brother
it.
or sister, it's going to bubble up and cause friction. Okay?
Yeah,
So
he
we
back.
understand
He
that
back.
we need to put out the leaven in
He
us.
back.
How we feel about other people negatively and all that. Put that away. That's what
Beat
it's
that.
talking about.
Love it. Love it.
Okay? So overall, we're fulfilling that, putting out the leaven, by
Yep,
actually
dunk that.
forgiving each other.
Dunk that,
You
and they're
understand?
done.
And going to your
And they're
brother and sister
done.
before the Passover,
Yep.
burying the hatchet, burying
He
all
off. He off.
negative we might have against
Don't
each
worry
other,
about it.
burying it, and starting anew with the new year. Okay? Let's do that. And then, every time
It's
you're
all
looking at
good.
bread and
We
you
locking
can't
up.
eat it and all that, let me tell you, I must love bread. because
Yep,
this
we
time of
locking
year,
up. We locking up.
I'm looking at everything I want to eat, and it's
One
like,
more.
man, I'm like, do I
One
like
more.
bread that much? Yes, I do.
Bro, he ain't about that life.
Maybe this is my week of getting together.
Let's
right?
go, bruh.
But anyway,
Right.
that's my gratuitous joke for the day. I'd like to thank you, brothers and sisters, for gathering with us.
Oh,
and,
you was scared. I'm like, you better hit that oop.
Oh, man, it's going to be nice. Hebrew and Bible Academy.
They should have made you dunk that.
gatheringofchrist.org, or send an email to gatheringisone@aol.com. I want to see everyone here that's not
Right.
in it. Come on in. And one thing about it, once you're in,
Yeah, a hard dunk. Like, nigga, get out of here.
Yeah, we have Q&As. Come on, shoot a question to me.
I hope they come back. Like, nigga, we barely lost to them. Please come back, please.
So can you all deliver more sermons that speak to us in Scripture?
About
You
getting
know they
ourselves
coming back.
together in
You know they
preparation.
coming back
Yes,
for that
we will
one.
add some of those lessons.
Yeah, that sharp is not coming off.
And sometimes we do go into those, but others will push back and say, why are you going into things, attacking people and pulling out things when we should be dealing with fruits of the Spirit? It's the catch-22. We talk about what the women are doing. They say, why you ain't talking about what the men are doing? We talk about what the men are doing, and the men say, why you ain't talking about the women? But yes, we'll go into more fruits of the Spirit and edifying and how to walk according to the Most High. Definitely.
Does rice have yeast in it? The answer is no.
No.
I told you that.
Someone asked, can Edomites be saved?
Oh,
Well,
okay.
all people can be saved if they repent and follow Christ. Okay? But the promises go to Israel. Israel will be, will be established
Oh, yeah, you got all types
as
of action.
the people of God in the kingdom. And the other nations who are saved will serve the kingdom. So yes, you must be saved to serve. So yes.
Oh man, it irks my nerves.
The elder shall serve
Why?
the elder. There you
Why?
Someone asked about.
And I don't know. I'm perplexed. I'm perplexed with the continual questions that people have with this constant focus on what's going to happen with white people. Let me tell you, we shouldn't focus more so on how the wicked shall be punished, but how the just shall be saved. Let's get that real quick. Let's get that real quick. Yes.
I I like this nigga D. Yeah.
Because I don't know how
Yeah.
the white man being punished saves me. Right? It says, you should not be inquiring so much of how the wicked shall be punished, but how the righteous shall be saved. Hold on. Let's get the next one. I get it. Go ahead.
Someone had a question on Psalms 104 and 19. It
Go ahead.
says, He appointed the moon for seasons, the sun knoweth his going down. Okay, so I guess they're asking this question in relation to the moon and the connection to the moon with calculation of time.
Yeah.
As we mentioned, when you go back to the book of Genesis, the first chapter, it says that he created the luminaries, so on and so forth, for signs and seasons. We know that the moon is one of those luminaries. So yes, the moon has her place in time calculation.
Yes.
But the moon, what people are doing is they're following the moon, and the sun is probably just he's the tag along, so to speak.
Yes.
When in reality, it's the sun that goes forward in his order, and the moon follows the sun. Okay, everything follows that order. The sun is identified scripturally as being a masculine luminary. The moon is identified as a feminine luminary. So that same concept is prevalent throughout all creation. So you have the sun, which leads the course, and the moon follows the sun. So yes, the moon has her place, but it's in reckoning along with the
good
sun.
D. Don't worry about it.
Second Ezra 9, yeah. So it's not the moon only. That's where they're going off at, like the Most High says. Gentiles, that will begin to focus on the moon only. So what is the sun doing during that time? What's that doing? Well, Enoch gives the understanding of both, so that you're not one-sided. You begin to follow the courses of the moons like the Gentiles, and thereby, all of the seasons are out of course. Becomes out of course. You got it? 2nd Ezra 9?
2nd Ezra 9:13. And therefore be not curious how the ungodly shall be punished.
Read that again.
Be not curious how the ungodly shall be punished.
Be not curious how the ungodly shall be punished. Read.
And when. But inquire how the righteous shall be saved.
But inquire how the righteous shall be saved.
I ain't holding
the white man
enough.
or something happened to other nations or even our people. How's that benefiting you?
No, I saw it.
What it has to do with what you would have to personally do to make it. So stop inquiring how the wicked shall be punished and focus on how you will be saved. I don't understand how people make a whole doctrine off of what's going to happen to someone else. It's utterly ridiculous. Okay, the time comes in which we must begin to edify and to grow on the next level beyond just looking at the white man for everything. And to me, it's still some weird way of honoring them as something great. You understand?
Wow.
I mean, just let them be. The Most High going to take care of the wicked.
No.
That's out of them, and He's going to take care of the wicked out of us first.
All the sinners of my people shall be slain by the sword.
Exactly.
No.
And wish you all Godspeed.
That's you running from damn ball too.
Man, whatever.
Yeshaya, our Father, which art in
wow.
heaven, hallowed be thy
Now
name.
they just giving these niggas extra stuff.
Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts.
Man, see what I'm saying?
Lead us not into temptation.
See what I'm saying?
But deliver us from evil.
Good deed. Good deed.
From the glory. Forever.
One more.
Bless you all. Stay prayed up. Sin not. We'll soon see.
Oh, why you leave him?
Oh yeah. Academy tomorrow, my brother.
Man, come on. Wow. Yeah, I am. No, that nigga broke. I don't even know why he
I thought
pulled
we was
that.
gonna lose just 'cause he did that.
No, we ain't about to lose still. Yeah, these niggas extra. They want to lose.
They're giving us a chance to come back.
Mmm.
Alright, man. I don't have to. I'm about to say like not be this corny.
No.
Oh,
Let's
I get it. This
go.
shit over. This shit over now.
Let's go. Let's go. Get out of here. Wow. You know we just needed a 3. You know we needed a 3.
We gave us another second. We're not gonna let them waste shit on tonight.
You know we needed a 3.
Bro, all they do is D up, man.
Nope, we need a 3.
There it is, right there.
No, it ain't. No,
Wow.
it ain't. Game time.
Fuck. What was you doing?
But that ain't my man.
Mm.
What you talking about? That ain't nowhere near my man.
You tripping. You tripping. They play such good D and that bitch be stupid.
Yeah, no, I like dude though.
Yeah, he plays D some good ass defense.
But he be tripping. Everybody got their own hang-ups. I'm mad Elder Ricard ain't bring out nothing he was talking about on Tuesday.
As far as what?
Elder Ricard be tripping sometimes too. I ain't gonna lie. Like he got the truth, but he be tripping with it. Alright, hold up.
Bro, some bums hopped on with them niggas we just lost.
Where we going?
Bro, just stay here. Some bums hopped on with these niggas we just lost to.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Let's go on the squad.
Yeah, I don't know what he doing.
Um, yeah, like Elder Ricard, like he be having the truth, but it's like the truth, like I don't even know how to. So to explain in a nutshell, basically, Elder Ricard didn't know that the church was finna be as big as it is. Like this nigga almost can have a church in every state.
That's crazy.
And Elder Ricard, he like being hands on.
Yeah.
So he
I
be
can see
making a
that.
lot of promises that don't never come to fruition because he's so stretched thin.
I agree. Cause he'll say like, man, email so and so and do this and do that.
Yeah,
And
but it's, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I emailed them brothers in Houston, man. Them niggas ain't returning it back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like it's a lot of places that's in different areas where it ain't Elder Ricard. And I can tell you that from my experience.
Like it's niggas that's like doing their own thing.
Man.
But I be wondering how do they? So how do them niggas establish the churches without him knowing?
But that's what I'm saying. Elder Ricard basically in one spot, and he can't oversee everywhere. So everywhere ain't like where Elder Ricard them at.
That's why me and my wife can't watch none of them except for Philly and him.
Oh, you good?
Bro, I don't even want to watch their videos, bro. I went there before, it was cool. But watching their videos, I'm like, no. It just don't, it just spiritually grab me, bro. Like, I don't really be like, caring about what he's talking about.
Bro, that's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. It ain't. Elder Ricard them basically went on something. Bro, they said they did a 7-day fast to learn the name of the Most High.
For real.
Have you ever been on a 7-day fast?
No.
Have you ever not ate or drank for 7 days?
No.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, Elder Ricard's like, yeah, we went on a 7-day fast, and the Most High revealed His name to us.
You believe it?
Yes, bro. That's the video, the true name of the Most. Hey, I guess you ain't never seen that, huh? Bro, look up the true name of the Most High. GOCC.
Wow.
Bruh.
I'm gonna look it up and see.
Because basically what happened, bruh, if I saw them early, but I was like, these niggas look dirty. I'm like, I ain't even listening to them. Bruh, but I'm trying to tell you, they had the most information out of all the camps. Like, all the other camps look clean, but no information. Just the white man, the devil.
These niggas look dirty.
I'm like, these niggas look dusty. Like, nigga, why niggas ain't even. And there's just two niggas in an apartment somewhere. And I ain't watching this. Nigga, and then one day someone was like, click on that video, nigga. I clicked on that video like, nigga, what? Like, nigga, this the deepest video I've ever seen.
It put a video right under that. The name of the Most High is not Jah, Ahaya, Yah. Like,
Man, that's some rogue nigga, ain't it? It ain't Elder Ricard now.
no.
That's what I'm saying, bro. This is what I'm trying to tell you, bro.
Yahuwah.
You ain't even gotta tell me, bro. Look, Elder, and this is how I was like, oh yeah, I'm with it. Elder Ricard went right to the scriptures and was like, I am that I am. That's his name. But we got to figure out what I am that I am is in Hebrew. Nothing more, nothing less. Everybody else be like, oh yeah, God. What's God? Yahweh, Yah, Jah. Like, Elder Ricard like, nope. It's only one place the Most High told Moses his name. Genesis 3:14. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere else they didn't tamper with and play with.
That's showing. This man said Yahuwah.
Man. And they be standing up and down that Elder Ricard and them lying. I'm like, nigga. Yeah, we Israel.
Yahuwah. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, bro. That's what I'm saying. I'm glad that they got a little bit of money from the academy to where they, you know what I'm saying. Now they in all white. They got their Mitri on, but before then they was, bruh, they was in some secluded room in Europe, like we gotta get it. Well, I was like, man, who is these old dusty, dirty niggas trying to tell them what they got the Most High's name? Bro,
Yes,
but they
yes,
had the
go
truth,
to
bro.
Zion.
Like, I
Children, brothers and
apologize for
sisters, how are you
saying that,
today?
bro. Like, they had the truth,
Sorry
bro.
for the late start, but we're going to
Like,
jump
straight
right in.
up. Like, no lie, bro. I ain't
First
never
and
seen
foremost, I would
nobody
like to
who
say
go
all
through
praises be the Most
precepts
High.
like Elder
Ahaya
Ricard.
Bahashim Yeshaya wa Rawah, or the Sabbath, allowing us to gather in Christ Church to come before you with another edifying
Nobody.
lesson.
And then when I seen him, when I went to Las Vegas and was around him and shook his hand,
To all of you, how are you?
my whole spirit changed, brother.
Of course, we see some familiar brothers and sisters, our family.
This is what I'm trying to tell you, bro. When you in the presence of Elder Ricard and them, nigga, the spirit that they got is overflowing, bro, to where it's like, okay, we gotta do some work. But then when you around rogue niggas, bro, you be chilling like, man, don't nobody want to do nothing. I'm chilling.
How are we going to be going forward within the gathering of Christ?
Around Elder Ricard now, bro, we around there like, bro, we gotta do, bro, we gotta do work in Las Vegas, nigga. We grab flyers from Xavier, who is like the bishop in Las Vegas. We going around passing out the flyers to everybody in Las Vegas, like, man, bro.
When you come in, hit the like button.
I'm telling you, bro. It's bro, it was a whole different feeling, bro. Like, it's like they celebrities in the spirit.
That we're streaming live. Okay, so if you hit the like button, it will alert those in the YouTube.
But I know it ain't them, bro. I'm trying to tell you, it's the Most High, bro. I know it ain't them, bro. I know the Most High is giving them understanding to where it's like,
before we begin, I would like to say for those who haven't,
like, it ain't even no question.
Have been a part of our Hebrew and Bible Academy, that we do start the Hebrew and Bible Academy tomorrow, actually. Okay, the first lesson, for the next 3 months begins tomorrow, March 17th.
Oh, bro, that's the video that jumped it off.
We have administration on standby.
And it's crazy because my wife at first, like, my wife used to watch Jamal Bryant.
So anytime within
I don't know if you know who that is.
Right after the lesson,
it's a nigga that used to be cold. Like, I used to be like, this nigga's good. But after hearing Elder Ricard them, I'm like, bro, this nigga's bogus. And he got like a bad wife, bro. Jamal Bryant wife, fine. Then this nigga started messing with Tweet. This nigga was messing with Tweet.
We're going to tear down the lies of the devil.
A pastor.
False theology and false doctrine that has controlled.
Like, this is before the truth. But he was like a brother that was cold, bro. And I'm like, man, this brother.
Gathering as one at
I'm like, this brother cold.
You can enroll if you have a card or whatever the case is. Or you can go to gatheringofchrist.org and hit on the tab for Academy. All right? Yes.
Yeah, just look up Jamal Bryant and listen to a couple of his lessons. You're going to be like, okay. But really, bro,
with the Most High's,
he with TBN.
Shema. Okay, for his Sabbath.
You know that church channel? Yeah, the lady with the pink hair. You don't know who the pink hair lady is, nigga? Well, you don't know TBN. Cause she like she running. Some old white lady with the pink hair.
The Lord our God is
Yeah, she keeping care.
Okay. Shalom, brothers and sisters. Again, I'm Elder Rick Shaw of the Gathering of Christ Church. Let's begin our Sabbath lesson. Okay. Now, you all know that we have
It's all
the Gathering
good.
of Christ Church official calendar, right?
Plum fake, plum
One
fake.
God, one faith, one people is the theme for this year, right? And in this, it has a breakdown on how we follow a 364-day calendar year cycle.
Y'all gonna let them come back.
And it actually show you each individual who get this particular calendar fall on throughout that calendar year. So you can resolve it by looking at your regular calendar. Okay.
10, 10.
Like a regular
10,
calendar,
10.
but you'll know when our holy days fall on those particular days. With this. Okay. Now, of course, our holy day, well, our new year started almost 2 weeks ago, a week ago, with what we call the new month, and what the world calls or labels the new moon. Okay? So it's a fresh calendar. It doesn't start in January like the Roman calendar, like the European calendar. It's just starting, actually. We're in the first month of this calendar. We have 12
Would you prefer to be back in Rome's time or right
really
now?
I'm not advertising the calendar right now. I'm just letting you know that what we're about to go into.
Imagine if you grew up in Rome's time.
Okay. And I'll talk about this in more detail later, but it's in this particular calendar, which you can actually get at gavinofchrist.org. Right? It might as well let everyone know they can get it. Right? Now,
if I was with the Most High,
our lesson today, right? God's Sabbath year. Breaking down time,
but in Rome's time, it wasn't like this, where they held the, you know what I'm saying?
Now, of course,
like they knew about demons.
I cannot go into detail of the particular lesson I'll be teaching or will be teaching on the Passover. That'll be, I have to save that for the Passover itself, but I will delve into that, to some of it for you brothers and sisters, on how we resolve the time for the Passover.
Right.
Now, some might wonder why we, us, the Gathering of Christ Church, that our Passover doesn't fall on the same time that Jewish people are doing their Passover. You might wonder.
We gotta, get the ball. You want the ball here? Okay, post that nigga up still. That's a little nigga.
Gathered of Christ Church.
Pass it.
Passover or holy days doesn't fall at the same time that most Israelites.
Post that nigga up again here.
Passover falls during a calendar year. Well, those things are going to be answered.
Never mind. Dump that. Yep.
Okay. Now, this is not speaking against anyone, because I feel that if someone is looking to serve the living God, and in good earnest is keeping his law, statutes, and commandments, they can only go by the information that they have stumbled upon or learned. Okay? The same way myself, I followed Christmas growing up when I believed, growing up, according to the Christian church, that Christ was born on Christmas. Okay? I earnestly believed that and went to church and gave, gratitude to the Most High.
It had to look. It had to look better with the pagans.
On Christmas Day,
it had to.
Okay.
It had to.
Why?
And I'm talking about looks, not it being better. I'm talking about specifically looks.
I'm an Israelite, I could no longer follow.
No, I ain't even gonna say the women,
so the
because
same can be said to
I
some
think
degree about brothers and sisters who've come to
nope. And I think Israelite women was covered up, so you couldn't even see how fine they were.
To begin to follow our holy days that was stolen from us. So I understand that premise. Why?
Yep.
I went through that too in the 90s,
No, that's what I'm saying.
right?
I think they was
But
covered
the
up
Most High says it's
so
high
you couldn't
time
see how really fine they
that we
was.
awake out of sleep. High
Like how
time
you
is
see how
understanding the time.
fine they is now, and they ain't even fine like how they
Now,
was back then.
Exactly.
most people don't know how Jewish
But
people
nigga, I'm gonna tell you,
get
there's
their
something about black women that be
calculation
like,
for the year,
man, bro.
which is blindly following,
But
right?
And then don't get me started
Well,
on Issachar.
they get
Issachar
their
be
calendar
like,
year. For those who don't know, I'm
okay,
going to preface this in a nutshell.
you so
They
bad,
begin their
your
year,
brothers
or
just want to
they
hate.
choose their new year based
Like,
on the first full moon after the equal.
Like your brothers
vernal
be on the
equinox.
campaign and be like, you ain't messing with
What
no
goes on
black
the
dude.
vernal
Like what?
But I'm going to show you something on that too. So that's how they calculate a year.
Like the
They
brother,
start
other
with a
nations,
moon, a full moon,
and it tell you
after
that,
the
you know what I'm
vernal
saying,
equinox.
like we
For
gonna
those who don't know
rise
what the
first,
vernal equinox
and then
is,
all the other
the vernal
tribes,
equinox
like
falls
the
on
Puerto
the last
Ricans,
day.
the
It's supposed to be the last
Mexicans,
day of the calendar
the
year,
like all the other
and the
tribes
beginning
is
of the
mad
spring,
at us.
where there's
Why I
equal
don't know,
parts night
but
and
it say
equal
that in the
parts
Bible.
day.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So it say Judah
Equal
gotta
parts night,
rise first,
equal parts
or
day,
the other tribes
then a new year. So then
be
we wait
mad at
until a
us.
moon
Like the other
comes
tribes will be
and say
starting
it's
stuff with
a
us.
new year based on that moon. And then they'll begin to count 14 days from that moon for Passover. So I'm educating you so you'll understand how they calculate
Yep.
and
Yep.
while their holy days are separate than ours. Number one, we found, and you're going to find that research today,
Oh yeah,
that
they
the
out
Jewish
of
people
there. 3
or
guards.
the Europeans
Good luck.
don't follow the vernal equinox. They just call it the vernal equinox. So here it is. The Gentiles have went off, and the Jewish people that go by that equinox for the Passover has gone off.
I'll take it.
Like the Most High said they would. Right? So now, if I'm an Israelite and I wake up and find I'm an Israelite, and the only people following the Passover or the holy days are Jewish people,
It's
it's convenient.
me.
It's efficient. I go to their website, find out the days they're worshiping, and call it Passover, and invite black people to it, and our people who are Israelites, and say, this is the Passover. Quite simple. Now, of course, I would need scriptures to prove that. So I would use scriptures like new moon or scriptures like moon to say, well, okay, we count from a moon. But Lawyer is going to break that down in the Hebrew today during this class, just to give you a little peek into how we deal with this, our academy. It's going to be a class today to show you that that moon is not speaking of looking up in the sky and counting from a moon. You're going to have that today. Okay? So the question is, the Gathering of Christ Church, or you might be asking Elder Ricard, how did you, or how did your church resolve
I like
the
it.
time? Right?
I don't like that.
Now, it's funny, right? Because we didn't do no research following other nations or try to figure out
And don't
information and
shoot.
all that.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't
The Most High
understand either,
revealed it
bro.
through study. The
Because
correct
I sure
time
saw
of
that.
year. I'm going to show you how we
Wide
practice
open,
this
don't
right.
shoot.
We don't have to
Nigga
worry
be
about
on me and I'm shooting.
daylight saving time, the clock going up, clock going back. We can look at the signs and understand that what the Most High gave us around 2011,
That's why I got that blue on me.
was right on concerning the time of year. Our new month or new moon came in last week. And guess what happened without us even thinking about anything?
Good.
The next day, time went up.
No.
We are connected with
I
the
love that
Naval
boost. I love
Observatory
that
that deal with
boost.
the time back and forth. How did we just organically did it because the Most High gave it to us in Scripture, and by default, they're now showing you a change in season a day later from the time of our calendar. So if you observe the times, you'll realize and see the seasons change. You'll understand that this calendar that the Most High has given us, the times He's given us, is 100% correct. And the importance of this, brothers and sisters, is
No, I was finna pass it.
yeah. The same time we're celebrating on earth or we're observing time on earth, the angels of the Most High is observing the same time in heaven.
Oh, good.
We are connected.
Man, we got a rim
with the
protector
Most
rebounding
High's
nigga down there.
temple
It's
in
on.
heaven. Thou shalt be done on earth as it is in heaven. So a lot of you might think, well, it doesn't matter.
Let's
it doesn't
go.
Matter. It doesn't faze me. I don't care. As long as the Lord knows that I'm serving Him in my heart. Well, now you're sounding like an unlearned Christian. Let's go to Daniel 7:25. Ignorance isn't an excuse.
It's all good.
Daniel chapter 7, verse number 25.
Read.
And he shall speak great words against the Most High.
That he is speaking of the fourth beast in Daniel, the Roman Empire, the people ruling today. Read.
And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High.
And shall wear out the saints of the Most High, slavery, captivity, oppression. Read. And think
to change times and laws.
It says they would think to change times.
Oh, wow.
Whose times? Whose laws? Ours.
What the
So
ball?
it's no coincidence that the converts would give you a false Passover. That the converts would give you a false first
What's
fruit,
good, bro? You Trina run.
false holy days. So that we as a people would follow them to their demise, to their destruction. They would think to change times and laws. I see a lot of our brothers who are not making quite good sense. They would convert
He
into
should have
Judaism
passed
and learn
it.
under the
You gotta
converts.
hit that. All right, we good. Just lock up.
And for you brothers and sisters out there who know your Hebrews or Israelites,
Yep.
how
It's
can
all
you now
good.
know that they're not the
You're
true
finna get a
Jews,
3.
but yet follow their holy days without careful scrutiny? It seems as if we resolving the days receive more
Yeah, we
scrutiny
need
by
a
our
3.
own than the Jewish people who have lied to you. Huh? Now, you may have found some videos, some older videos, probably around 7, 8 years, of when the Most High first gave us the understanding of the 364-day calendar, which is in the book of Enoch.
Yeah.
Not only the book
This
of
is
Enoch,
crazy,
other records also,
bro.
right? Now, at that time, we were looking at the Greenwich area because we were overseas at that time. Minutes or whatever the case is, and we can explain that too at the end of this. But later, when we find out that the Naval Observatory lake was buried off, like the actual, we have an article.
22 minutes.
We have an article from National Geographic. And on this article, it says that the Naval Conservatory goes off and then comes back every other year on time. So we went later, you're going to find videos after that, years down, and went through date and time and did the link times from the Middle East to Saudi Arabia. From the near the mount of Saudi Arabia, and got equal parts.
I know,
to confirm what we did years ago was absolutely
but really
correct.
it was his fault. But
Now,
okay.
when the Most High gave us this information for the 364 days, we were in the East. We were there when the Most High
we'd be
gave us
having everything locked down, and this nigga's a lockdown, but
so
ain't
once
locking
you get
down.
the initial calculation of 364, you no longer have to try to adjust it from year to year or try to figure it out from year to year, because it's a complete cycle of 52 Sabbaths. There was no need to calculate after that. Okay? So what I thought I would do, knowing that most brothers and sisters are fairly new, don't have time to pull up that calculation or that calculation to figure out if what the Gathering of Christ Church is teaching is correct concerning our day, and no other Israelites out there are going to be following it like this. I thought I would break it down where you can understand a complete year, right?
Hey, give me like 5 minutes.
By understanding our cycle, the Most High cycle, the Most High God's calendar year that He gave man from the beginning. I thought I would teach that today in its simplest form so that the layman can understand. Now, how can you resolve this today? And I'm going to use scripture, and I need you to follow me. Right? Elder Lawyer, let's go to Genesis 2:1.
Genesis chapter 2, verse number 1.
Come on.
Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them.
Come on.
And on the seventh day the Most High ended His work which He had made.
On what day?
On the seventh day the Most High ended His work which He had made.
He did what?
And on the seventh day the Most High ended His work which He had made.
Ended His work that He had made. On the seventh day, right? So I thought I would make it easier for you, brothers and sisters, to resolve the year by just first beginning with the Sabbath, or understanding a Sabbath is 7 days. Okay. 7 days. This is how you resolve the years, months, seasons, and days. By first beginning with the Most High giving us 7. Right? 7 days. Now we know 1 day with the Lord is as 1,000 years. It took 6,000 years to create all that we see today. And in the beginning of that, and then He rested on the 7th day, the beginning of the 7,000th year. 7 days with the Lord. So that in itself is a sign to man concerning what? Time. 7. A week is 7. Right? Now, there was no such days as Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Right? Those names were given or named after gods. Okay? After gods. Sunday is the worship of the sun. On the moon. Monday is the moon. so on and so forth. But we all know the Most High numbered the days, didn't name the days. The Gentiles named the days, right? So we have day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? Are you following me? Now, if we were to look at our calendars today, a regular calendar, brothers and sisters, your first day of the week was named by the Gentiles what?
Oh, all right.
Sunday.
You ain't got no third, though.
Right? Your last day of the week, named by the Gentiles, would be what? Saturday. You got that? So by default, we understand today that Sunday is not the Sabbath. It's the first day of the week. And that the seventh day where the Lord rested, when that became a law to man under Adam, well before Moses, that the last day of the week would be what the Gentiles call today Saturday. Are you following me here? That's 7, right? I'm going to walk you here so that you can understand the holy days according to the Most High. by just simply understanding 7. Right? Are you following me here? Now.
Oh, no, that ain't him.
Let's go to Exodus 20 and 8. Now we have 7 now.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 8.
Come on.
Remember the Sabbath day.
Remember what?
Remember the Sabbath day.
Now the Most High is confirming in Moses and the Israelites, our forefathers coming out of Egypt, the details, the information of time and worship that was given to Adam. It didn't start with the law of Moses, the observance of the Sabbath. It started with Adam, where the Most High said, listen, rest this day. Now the Gentiles, who are against the God of the Bible, the God of Israelites, would do what? They would switch the Most High Sabbath from the 7th day to the 1st day. Okay? I'm going to go into that a little later. Read that again, Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir. Exodus chapter 20, verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day.
Remember the Sabbath day. Don't forget it.
To keep it holy.
To keep it holy. Right? Sabbath is 7. Are you following me here? Hope you are. Now, don't forget, the Most High showed Daniel that the Romans would think to change times and laws. Who are the Jewish people today? They're Romans. Okay. Who are those that are over our calendars today? Romans. So they've purposely distorted the times or the calculation of times of Sabbaths and kept it from God's people. Are you following me? Now, let's get it in Isaiah where it talks about the Sabbath is a sign. Ezekiel, excuse me. Ezekiel 20. Matter of fact, let's go to Ezekiel 31 and 13.
Ezekiel chapter 31.
Why?
Verse number 13.
Come on.
Why would you help me? I wasn't moving because he was coming to me, bro.
Exodus 31 and 13, and get Ezekiel 20. Excuse me.
Exodus 31, verse number 13.
Exodus 31 and 13. Go on.
Yes, sir. Speak thou also unto the children of Israel.
Speak to the children of Israel.
Say, verily my Sabbaths ye shall keep.
My Sabbaths ye shall keep. Right?
You scared.
Now, when you think about Sabbaths, brothers and sisters, most people look at it as just the seventh day of the week, which is from our time, Friday sundown, to Saturday sundown. Now, you have some Israelites out there who only observe when the sun come up on Saturday.
I was too far back.
I don't argue back and forth with that because, you understand, when the sun come up on Saturday, I observe it too. Okay. Just that I observe it when they do it, but I start when the sun goes down Friday night. Okay? Most people think it's just talking about that day. But that day is a reminder from week to week throughout a complete calendar year. Okay? And by us observing that, we're connected with the Most High. And we become a sign to Him as He gives us signs. It's a connection from week to week. Read it again, Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir. The book of Exodus, chapter 31, verse 13. Speak thou also unto the children of Israel, saying, Verily, my Sabbaths ye shall keep.
My Sabbaths ye shall keep. Read.
For it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations.
It's a sign between me and you throughout your generation. So the Gentiles would seek to what? Break that bond. Break that connection. Okay?
Man.
By us dealing with the first week,
Right, yeah.
first
that
day
ain't
of the
got
week,
nothing to do with me.
instead of the seventh day, guess what happened? We began to break that connection with the Most High to the degree in which He turned His back on us for a while before Christ was sent. See? To give us the understanding of what? Our agreement, our covenant. See?
Yeah,
so we understand the Sabbath is a sign.
You and me,
the Sabbath
bro.
is not just followed from Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. Yes, that's great. But it's speaking of the complete year, folks. A complete year is reckoned or is calculated
we might win
by
this one.
52 complete Sabbaths. Period. If we vary off of it, if we try to add a day,
what
leap year, try
is
to
he
do
a
all
pure?
this stuff, we'll go off course with the Most High. That's why He said, remember the Sabbaths. Keep them holy. Because through that, after a certain number of Sabbaths, we'll know when to crop. We'll know when to prepare and store for the winter.
Wow.
Sabbaths gave us the knowledge of how to live a complete year through the seasons. And the stars in the sky align with those Sabbaths. The stars are angels. So they would give the signs to those who could read it of our forefathers back then. And we would know exactly what time of year we were in based on those signs. Okay? Under the Sabbath.
Man, come on, bro.
Stick with me here.
We still gonna win.
Let's go to Ezekiel.
Because he ain't got nothing
20
coming.
and 12.
Ezekiel chapter 20, verse number 12.
Come on.
Moreover,
Trash.
also I gave them my Sabbath.
I gave them my what?
My Sabbath.
Go a verse
like
before
you.
that.
Yes, sir, verse number 11.
Come on.
And I gave them my statutes and showed them my judgments, which if a man do, he shall even live in them.
Exactly.
Yep.
So the Most High gave Israel, our forefathers, statutes
supposed to be
and judgments to live in, to live by.
Nope.
Go on.
Verse 12. Moreover, also I gave them my Sabbaths to be a sign between me and them,
right,
that they might know that I am the Most High Power that sanctified them.
Come on.
But the house of Israel rebelled against me.
But we rebelled against the Most High.
In the wilderness.
In the wilderness, like we rebel today. Go down to the 20th verse, Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir, verse 20. And hallow my Sabbaths.
And do what?
And hallow my Sabbaths.
Hallow my Sabbaths.
And they shall be a sign between me and you.
And that would be the sign between us and the Father. This is how the Most High recognizes his children. The children of Adam. See? He told Adam to do what? Rest the seventh day. Why? Because the Most High ended all his work on the Sabbath. And I'll be talking about that work tomorrow. I'll even be going into the existence of the Most High before time in our lesson, The Creation of the Universe. I'm going to add that in there. That the Most High is on the outside of time. Okay? His power. It says, and hallow my Sabbath, and they shall be a sign between me and you, that you may know that I am the Lord your God. Now, folks, this is where things got confused for Christians. And it's no fault of those that follow in Christianity, because the majority of those brothers and sisters who are in there, they just trust their pastors, their leaders. Okay, they haven't done any theological research. They more so go to church due to tradition or for social networking. It's a gathering.
Oh, you got kicked out.
But keep in mind, folks, they go there. Some of them go there in belief of a lie that Christ rose on what they call Easter Sunday.
No, it did.
And they've used that as an excuse to change the Sabbath, which is the sign between the Most High and us, to the first day of the week. And let's make it clear. Christ didn't rise on a Sunday. Christ rose on a Tuesday. And I'm going to prove it in this lesson. He didn't rise on a Sunday. He rose on a Tuesday. So all those Christians who are claiming that they go to church on Sunday because Christ rose on a Sunday, you better find a Tuesday church. I don't have to. Why? Because the Most High gave Sabbath as a sign between him and us. 7. I look at my calendar. That's the day he gave us. I don't care about these excuses the Gentiles are giving us to denounce my God and disrespect my God. Okay? Are you following? Christ rose on a Tuesday, folks, and I'm going to prove it today. Now, going back to when I first, through the Spirit of the Most High, received the information or received the understanding on how to break down the 364-day calendar. It was written in the older records before Genesis. It was written in the book of Enoch, and it was confirmed in the records that the Most High gave Moses, the book of Jubilees. But lo and behold, lawyer, at that time, there was no records out there anywhere where the authorities of this earth was telling us that we should follow a 364-day annual calendar. We didn't have that information. The only information we had was the fact that the Most High gave it to us through scriptures. And we did the research to be able to link in the equal night and day to start the correct calendar at the time the Most High gave it to us. But there was no what you would call authoritative academia information out there that would confirm some of our sources. I mean, sources that would confirm our findings or what the Most High put on our hearts to show. Now we found out, after the cat is out of the bag, here it is, 2018 last year. Now, mind you, folks, the Jewish powers and the powers that be have held the Dead Sea Scrolls from the Qumran Cave for decades and know exactly what's in them. Now they're going to dribble out some information that they said they was holding in the Dead Sea Scrolls. We didn't have this information back then. I need you all to check this out, brothers and sisters. Now, all of a sudden, check this out, 2018. Look at this. Check that out. Bible history. Newly deciphered Dead Sea Scrolls. 364-day calendar. Y'all see that? February 2nd, 2018. Dead Sea Scrolls. They had the information the whole time and wouldn't tell us anything that the real day, the real year, is really 52 complete Sabbaths. So listen, I don't care what the naysayers say.
Wow.
The Most High is confirming to us that when he gave this to us, it was for a purpose. We were teaching this before they decided to roll this out. Here's the parchments right here, archaeological proof, right in your face, and I didn't have anything. I didn't have this information in 2011, 2012. Look at this. Look at this. Are you kidding me? Now they're going to dribble out information. And I'm going to tell you why. I don't care that they're dribbling it out. Because I know why they're dribbling it out. I know why. And I spoke to Elder Lawyer about it before we went on. They are in a pact to conceal all information unless it's revealed to us by the Most High first. When we began to teach it, they must put it out there so that they can spin it their way outside of what the Most High organically gave us. But before that,
Where
they
you at,
wouldn't say
Slim?
anything. But if they can't control the narrative,
Get ready to
they'll
hop
dribble
on.
something out so that they can now gain the authority over the information and begin to give their own spin on it. I don't need that to confirm the correct time of year and Passover and all that. The Most High gave it to us before we knew that that was in the Dead Sea Scrolls in particular.
What?
Check that out. Okay? Now, let's deal with the 7 real quick. The 7. How do we calculate the days?
Wow.
The last day of the year.
Man, get out of here.
Enoch was given a course from the heavenly realm of the heavenly
Man, this
luminaries,
nigga,
which we
man.
call stars, which we also call planets erroneously. He also gave us, the Most High gave him insight on a cycle of the year. That if we remember the Sabbath, we'll be able to remember a complete year and keep track of time from year to year. Therefore, understanding prophecy according to the times. Who would understand what a trump is if you don't know what the memorial blowing of the trumpets are? Okay? Think about it. So all of the holy days were giving us signs for future prophecy. But if you don't know what the holy day of the trumpets are or when they fall, you might be late for that trump. See? So the Most High didn't give us this information so that we can say, look what we got, look what we have. Y'all don't have it. No. The Most High gave it to us so that we can reveal it to the world, and so that others, regardless of what group you're in or who you are part of, if Christian, no matter who you are, that you can begin to observe the signs of the times that was given to our forefathers from the beginning. Now, let's deal with that 7. Now, for those who don't believe in Enoch, that's your issue. But the book of Enoch was also found in the Qumran caves. I've already done the history on the sons of Zadok, and I'm probably going to add that as one of the academy lessons, to do some research, some detailed, what you would call scholarly understanding and teachings on the sons of Zadok, who eventually became the Essenes. Okay.
Where I hopped off of?
These were they who fled Babylon during the time of our downfall, and the Most High preserved them in deserts and different areas.
Oh, where I'm at to 95.
Israelite
I'm at 88%.
Almost. Of righteous brothers and sisters from the sons of Levi, who would scribe the records and put it in earthy vessels, knowing that the Gentiles would think to change times and laws. The Babylonians put out a hit on them. They tried to kill them and all that. Try to send out mercenaries against them. The Romans were looking to try to eradicate them, but the Most High would guide the Essenes and keep them in remote areas protected from the Gentiles. Therefore, now, no one out there in the end days, when they see these records from the Qumran caves, like we just showed today, can claim the white man tampered with it.
Especially if this has been over.
And of course they have it in their hands and they're trying to tamper now. But it confirms that the Old Testament, that the Word of God is true and wasn't made up by some white people. Okay? They found almost the whole Old Testament outside of Esther intact in the Qumran caves, proving that the Bible is true. It's a true record.
Man, do you know we had a lesson today? The sons of Beliar.
Announce the word of God.
Oh
okay?
My goodness. Huh?
Anything you want to say, Elder Lloyd, before I go in? Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go into the book of Enoch and let's find out what the last day of the year is.
But whatever, it don't even matter. What I'm saying is, it was talking about the giants.
Because if you know the last day, you automatically know.
Do you know this nigga Og?
The next day. Now what we could do, probably would take about 4 hours. I don't even know how I can explain this, bro. To break it all down. What we could do.
It was a nigga named Og that was a giant.
And break down each day up into the end of the year. 364 in the book of Enoch.
Do you know this nigga was like, I'm finna kill all of Israel. And this nigga picked up a mountain.
It's in the book of Enoch, folks. I was speaking to someone who called me and that I had to help.
Bruh, he was a giant.
And the other day.
This nigga picked up a mountain.
They don't understand the calendar specifically.
It say that in the Bible, it say this nigga picked up 3 parcels.
I said, you know what? I need to do this, what I'm doing right here for a class.
And then when you go look up parcels is it's the length that an average man could walk in 72 minutes.
It's just 52.
That nigga picked up 3 of them.
Weeks. So, 52 weeks. That's it. 7, 7, 7, 7, 52 times. That's it.
Nah, bro, this nigga picked up 3 parcels. So he picked up 3 of an average nigga walking in 72 minutes. However long that is, a nigga walking in an hour and 12 minutes.
If you know the last day of the year, then you know that
that's what that nigga picked up.
The very
3 of them.
When you have that, you can
and was like, I'm gonna kill all of Israel.
And leave it. You never have to change it again.
Basically, he saw us chilling and was like, I'm gonna kill them all at once.
Which means If
and this
my
nigga
holy
picked up
day
a big
falls on
mountain.
a Friday or
And
Saturday
then it say
today,
that the Most
next
High
year,
sent the
regardless of what the
angel
date
to
is
hit the mountain. And
of
the
that
angel
month,
came
it's
and
still
hit the
going to fall on
mountain.
that same day.
And
A
the
fixed
mountain,
time
he hit when he
year,
hit the
like
mountain,
Most High
the
said.
mountain fell on this
He's not going
nigga
to have
neck
it where it
and
falls
broke
on a
this
Monday
nigga
today,
neck,
which is
and he fell on the ground.
second
And
day of the
then
week,
Moses came and hit this
and then
nigga
fall
heel and
on
killed
a
him.
Thursday next year.
You said Moses did
The
what?
most high
Moses
calendar
came and
isn't
hit
like
that nigga on the
it will
heel.
fall on a fixed day each year. Which means if it was a Friday that it fell on,
Bro, like Moses,
last
like
year,
I'm gonna
it
finish
fell
this
on a
nigga
Friday
off, bro.
this year at a fixed time.
Nigga said,
It's that clear,
Bust this like it's bro, but it
right?
said this nigga was the size of cedars.
Let's read it other way.
Yes, sir. This is Enoch.
And then I don't know if you know,
On
nigga,
that day,
it's
the
a
night
tree
decreases and amounts to
in
9
Madagascar
The night decreases and
that
amounts
it looked
to
like a
9
mountain,
parts, and the day to 9 parts,
but it's a
and
tree,
the night is equal to the day, and the year
nigga.
is exactly as
It's a
this
tree,
day, 364.
but it looked like
So
a
the
mountain
last
hill.
day, 364,
And they show it in the
written
cartoon
in the book of
Madagascar.
Enoch, well before
In the
flood.
background,
So
it'll show something that look like a mountain,
night,
but really it's a
equal
tree
parts
stump
day.
that these niggas didn't cut the
Now,
tree off.
At this time, before the flood, well, before the Egyptians gained power,
Bruh,
we
I'm
had
sitting there
a
like,
9-part
wow.
night, 9-part day calendar. I mean, day. Which means
The Most High
instead of
skull.
12 hours, 60-minute hours, we had 9 hours, 80-minute hours. You got that?
Yeah.
So instead of 60 minutes, it was 80 minutes for an hour. Right? So you
This
have
nigga
9
saw
parts
that and
night,
was like,
9 parts day. It's still the equivalent of 12-12, just a different equation. Later on, the Egyptians switched that 9 part to 12 parts night, 12 parts day, 60 minutes instead of 80 minutes. Okay? 80 minutes or 90 minutes. I have to go back and look at my work on that. But in a nutshell, the Egyptians shortened that or added to that, gave it less minutes, right, and more hours. But it was only 9 parts at that time. 9 parts night, 9 parts day. You got that? 9, an 18-hour cycle. Now it's 12 hours night, 12 hours day. We did the research on that, 2011 and all that, a long time ago. 2011, 2012, the Most High gave us the information. We put it out there, and when we looked into it, it was 12, 12 exactly to the second.
Yeah, bruh.
Now we have other people now looking into it. They look, well, hold on, what about this, that? No, none of these people were even thinking about the calculation of the time of Enoch when we put it out. When the Most High put it on our spirit to teach it. Now, the connoisseurs are coming out and saying, well, I don't know, I try to do it this and try to do it that. The Most High didn't give everyone the same gift. It's okay to learn. Okay? It's all right. Now, we know that an equal part night, equal part day is the last day of the year. And Enoch said what? It completes what?
364.
364. Period. Yeah, I was correct. 80 minutes. So you had 80 minutes in the hour before the flood, up until the time of the Egyptians. 9 parts night, 9 parts day. You got that? Now, let's jump in. 364 Now, how many Sabbaths is within 364, you might ask? Right? Let's go to the book of Jubilees. Now, for those who don't understand or believe in the book of Jubilees, we're going to show you, according to the Bible, out of the Apocrypha, that the same information that was given to Enoch was later given to Moses on Mount Sinai. So we're talking about 52 weeks. I don't think it's a coincidence when you add 5 and 2 together, you get what? 7. The Most High made sure that we would remember the Sabbath, because we remember the Sabbath, we remember weeks, months, and years. But the devil would send a people who would think to change what? Times and laws. Not their times, not their laws, ours. And disconnect us from the Most High. Let's read this in 2nd Ezra, the 14th chapter, to give you a biblical reference that confirms that the book of Jubilees is the word of the Most High. Read.
2nd Ezra chapter 14, verse 1.
Come on.
And it came to pass upon the 3rd day, I sat under an oak, and behold, there came a voice out of a bush over against me, and said, Esdras, Esdras. And I said, Here am I, Lord.
Come on.
And I stood up upon my feet. Then said he unto me, In the bush I did manifestly reveal myself unto Moses, and talk with him, when my people served in Egypt.
Come on.
And I sent him and led my people out of Egypt, and brought him up to the mount of Sinai, where I held him by me a long season.
Come on.
And told him many wondrous works.
Go ahead.
And showed him the secrets of the times.
And showed Moses the secrets of the times. When you go into that word times of weeks, it's Jubilee. The secrets of the times. Okay? I actually did a presentation called The Secrets of the Times after the Most High revealed this information in New York years ago, when I first came back to the States. The Most High revealed to Moses the secrets of the times. There's no coincidence at the same time the Most High is delivering his people. He's given us his correct time that he gave our father Adam from the beginning. That he gave Enoch. That Enoch gave Methuselah. Methuselah gave to Noah. Noah gave to Shem. Shem gave to Abram. On and on and on and on, folks. And it was confirmed at Mount Sinai. Follow me here. That's going to make it easy for you today, right? So now we're going to go into the book of Jubilees and see if there's what you would call another witness or testimony to this 364 days that was found in the Qumran caves not too long ago by the powers that be. Called the Dead Sea Scrolls. 364. So this is why the Romans wanted the Essenes dead. This is why the Babylonians and other nations were sending out mercenaries to kill them. The Most High had them write our records, knowing the Gentiles were looking to connect his people from the Most High. They were looking to enslave and enrich themselves off of us. And if it was up to the Gentiles, folks, we as a people would stay enslaved perpetually for an eternity. So the Most High sent them into remote areas to scribe records. All day and night they would scribe records and put it in earthy pots and caves. So that one day the Most High could have a little boy running there and find the pots with the preserved scrolls, confirming another prophecy given to John on the Isle of Patmos in Revelation 12, that the earth would help the woman. The woman is Israel, our people in captivity. And swallow up the flood that came out of the serpent's mouth. The flood is the lies that came from the Zionists, the Romans. Through distortion of time, they would separate God's people. The children of Israel scattered from the Most High, Ahia. He confirmed his word. And what happened? The earth helped the woman. And I'm so glad the Most High gave us these details before what this archaeology that's coming out came out. So that you'll know it's the Most High sending the info. He's bringing forth the Spirit on what to study. See? Let's go to the book of Jubilees.
Jubilees 6 and 22.
6 and 32.
32. Jubilees 6 and 32.
These are the records, the book of Jubilees, these were the records shown to Moses. Read it.
And command thou the children of Israel that they observe the years according to this reckoning. 364 days.
300 and what?
364 days.
Come on.
And these will constitute a complete year.
And these will constitute a what?
A complete year.
A complete year. Read.
And they will not disturb its sign from its days and from its feast.
See that? From its days, or its what?
Its time, or from its feast.
Or from its feast. So if you're not following a 364-day calendar, you're not following the Most High feast on their appointed time of the year. See? I don't care what you call it. You can call it Passover if you would like. But nothing is going on in the heavens while you're doing it. That's just you having a get-together, calling it Passover. See? Read.
But if they do neglect and do not observe them according to the commandment, then they will disturb all their seasons, and the years will be dislodged from this order.
And the years would be what?
Dislodged from this order.
Dislodged from this order. Read.
And they will disturb the seasons, and the years will be dislodged, and they will neglect their ordinances.
And they would neglect their ordinances. Our ordinances are what? The high holy days. The Most High gave Moses. So not only did he give Moses the law in Leviticus 23, he also said you must follow these according to the 364-day schedule. And if you don't, you're going to disturb everything. And as a pretext, my people will go into slavery. They'll go into captivity. I'm going to show you. Read.
And all the children of Israel will forget the wrong as to all the order of the year.
Exactly. Now they'll go wrong. What? Of all. Yeah, read that last piece.
And all the children of Israel will forget.
Will forget like we're doing now. Well, I don't know. It could have been no telling what the white man did. Who knows what day it is? Who did that to you? When the stars and everything is aligned, we're still on that same schedule the Most High gave Adam from the beginning. They gave Enoch. We're just confused. See? So, of course, the Most High would send teachers that would put things back on course, folks, and reveal the information to you. Okay? So that you can look at it and actually get on course. Read.
And will not find the path of the years, and will forget the new moons.
They will forget the new moons.
And seasons.
And seasons.
And Sabbaths.
And Sabbaths.
And they will go wrong as to all the order of the years.
They will forget the order of the years. That's a part of what? Forgetting the Sabbath. Because if you remember the Sabbath and keep it holy, you do 52 of them, You'll never forget a calendar year according to the Most High. How can you remember the Sabbath from week to week and don't know what a year consists of? Does it make sense to you? You should know what a year consists of. You shouldn't look at what they're talking about, 365, 237. What is that? Finish reading, Elder Lawyer.
For I know it from henceforth, and I will declare it unto thee. And it is not of my own devising, for the book lies written before me, and on the heavenly tablets the division of days is ordained.
And it says it's written where?
On the heavenly tablets.
The stars. You can look up in the sky and tell. The heavenly tablets is the stars, folks. No, soon as our new month came in, what they call erroneously new moon. And I'm going to show you that. As soon as it came in the next day, what happened? The Gentiles upped the clock an hour. And then I'm looking outside this week. Lovely. We went from the end of winter into spring. You understand? And we never changed this calendar, folks. We never changed it. Once we're at 364, we don't care what the Gentiles calendar says. It was meant to confuse you. The more you try to resolve things by looking at the Gentiles and what they're doing, you're falling under the conspiracy. You're falling under the confusion. Because the Gentiles, every so often, had to, throughout history, change things and rearrange things to catch up by not following the 360. So a lot of brothers and sisters are falling to their deception by trying to resolve what the Gentiles did. They're confusing you on purpose on every level. No, that's our problem. We look for confirmation from them. Nix them. Let's start with what the Most High gave us, starting with 7 days, Sabbath, and let's work from there. Okay? That's simple. Finish reading.
Lest we forget the feast of the covenant and walk according to the feast of the Gentiles.
Hold up now. If we don't follow 364, we'll be walking after what?
The feast of the Gentiles.
The feast of the Gentiles. So you can call it Passover if you want. You can call it whatever you want. Those are the feasts of the Gentiles, folks. The Most High began to destroy our priests because we began to follow under what? The Babylonian worships of the moon and calling it Passover, calling it Feast of Trumpets, calling it Feast of Unleavened Bread or Feast of Tabernacles and all those things. We began to do what? Profane what the Most High gave Moses by calling a profane day a holy day. And those are the days the Jewish people are following today. And that's why no wonder you notice they named their months after what? Babylonian gods. Nisan and other Babylonian gods. During the time of Babylon is when we began to follow after the Gentile portion once we fell, our kingdom fell. And begin to call our Passover on a profane day. So what happens now that we've awakened in America? We found we're the Israelites. We know we're the true Jews. We know that Christ was through our bloodline. He came for us. But yet we still seek the Gentiles for the observing of days. And we still follow it like our forefathers did before the Most High destroyed us. That's why he said, the new moons, all that. Get that away from me. I cannot stand it because you're not doing what I told you to do. You're doing it under the Gentiles' guidance. You're worshiping false gods. See? Finish reading.
and walk according to the feast of the Gentiles after their error and after their ignorance.
And after their error and after their ignorance. That's key that the Most High told Moses. How can you go from ignorance to resolve the word of the Most High? Right? Read it.
For there will be those who will assuredly make observations of the moon.
There will be those who will make observation of the moon. You can ask any Jewish person or rabbi when a new year comes in, and they'll tell you the first moon, full moon, after the vernal equinox. The Most High didn't say observe a new year based on that. The Most High said you based a new year on what? On the day being equal, on the complete day being 12 hours, 9 parts night and 9 parts day. Not when a full moon comes. So that's why the Jewish Passover is entirely different than what we're following. Okay. What's the error?
For there will be those who will make observations of the moon.
Of the moon.
How it disturbs its season and comes in from year to year 10 days too soon.
10 days too soon. So the error would be us following the Gentiles who have their worships and their holy days set up according to the pattern of the moon. Through a complete cycle year. The moon has a cycle of 354 days. 10 days short of the 364 the Most High gave Moses, gave Enoch, see? Gave Adam, all these. So now you have a complete moon year or lunar year of 354, and by doing so, the year comes in early 10 days each year. So what happens through time? If you you begin to do that. You start throwing off the course of everything. Right? Now, like I've said, I'm not saying this to put anyone down based on what they're doing and all that, because I once believed the holy days that the Israelites are following. I used to do the same thing when I first came in. Don't forget, I've been in this for decades, folks. Almost 30 years. I never went to the priest or what we thought were high priests back then and say, excuse me, confirm to me why we're following this Passover at the same time the Jewish people are following theirs. I didn't know how they got the calculation. I just trusted. If you told me I was an Israelite, you must have researched this too. See? So I'm not saying this to say, well, look what we have. No, we're saying, well, maybe it wasn't time for us to understand it at that time. God has given us information as the seals of Israel. He shut up the book of Daniel. A lot of information wasn't afforded for the teachers who taught us back then. They were going off what they had. Knowledge has increased, like it was written in the book of Daniel. They probably just didn't know, but who cares? They did what the Most High had entrusted in them at that time. What we're saying is, and what we're showing is, we have to add this now. We have to get on the word, like the word before the fall. Okay? Finish reading what you have.
So this is Jubilee 6 and 37, end of 37.
Read.
The years will come upon them, observe the order and make an abominable
the day of testimony. Read.
And an unclean day of feast day.
They will make an unclean day of feast day by
and they will confound all days, the holy with the unclean, and the unclean day with the holy, for they will go wrong after the months and Sabbaths and feasts and jubilees.
Look at that. Go on.
For this reason I command and testify to thee that thou mayest testify to them. For after thy death thy children will disturb them, so that they will celebrate the year 364 days only, and for this reason they will go wrong after the new moon, and feasts, and Sabbaths, and festivals, and they will eat all kinds of blood with all kinds of flesh.
Look at that. Controlled by the Gentiles now. So when we fell in Babylon, we kept the holy day's name, but we began to do it after the course of years, following the moon, which comes in 10 days early each year. We threw off all the time in the holy days and to our multi-told sons of Zadok during that time in the 6th century. Listen, I need you to leave the priests are sacrificing to Baal. You're the sons of Zadok, the sons of Aaron. I need you to go into a remote area to preserve my record. Israel is about to fall. The kingdom will be destroyed. And you know what? We have it right here. We have it right here. And I'm going to go over it. I'm going to simplify it for you so you can understand it in a couple of seconds on my trusty board we'll be using for the academy tomorrow. Oh yeah, it's going to be a great day in the academy. I mean, we're going into the creation of the universe and the great I am. It's the power of creation of all things. And tomorrow, the creation of the universe, right? So I'm going to break this down in a moment on a level that a layman can understand it, without using it in a circle. Sometimes you look at that circle and all that, you look at it and say, well, I don't understand. So I thought that I would just lay it out in a line from 1 day to 360 to break it down to you. How about that today? See? And someone, I think a sister said, I can't wait, Elder, for tomorrow. Hey, I can't wait either. I mean, it's some excitement. It's a new year. It's a spring coming up. The Passover's coming up. And, man, we got a fresh new academy tomorrow, man. I'm going to be energized for that class tomorrow morning. I'm excited with it. Right? Now, again, you want to get in, send an email to gatheringas1@AOL.com. We have people working around the clock right now, so don't miss it. Now, Elder Lawyer, I need you to break down, give you a window of how we do work and how we do class. You might ask, well, the Lord says in certain instances about the moon that we should observe holy days according to the moon. How can you say what we're teaching is correct, or what we're teaching is correct, and what the Jewish people are teaching according to the moon is incorrect? How would you answer?
The Hebrew aspect, also relates back to the how to calculate the moon, and how the observation of the moon a greater light, which is the sun, and a lesser light, which is the moon. So the greater light is that greater creation, that greater luminary that we follow to determine a month. So now, just from a Hebrew aspect, going to the book of 1 Samuel chapter 20, verse 5, and David said unto Jonathan, behold, tomorrow is the moon. Now, you look at that in the Hebrew, the new moon, by implication, a month.
So as we can see there, he wasn't talking about a moon at all. He was talking about the change of season according to 360 moon. It's the moon there that gets most confused, right? But we're going to resolve that. It's not speaking of moon there. It's speaking of a new month. And a month is calculated by what happens through the course of a month, or to one month to the next. From what? From the sun and the moon, not the moon only. They work in tandem. See? Gentiles deal strictly with the moon. The moon god. And unfortunately, I know it's going to hurt a few people out there. The moon god was a god, believe it or not, worshipped in Egypt. Historical archaeological findings that Yah was the moon god. But go on.
Now we're going to go to Genesis 7 and 11 to show you that that word, new moon and month, are the same word. Just verifying that new moon is simply meaning a month.
Okay.
Genesis 7 and 11, and the 600th year, the second month, of the month, the same day of the great feast coming up. Now, we have month written and documented in Genesis 7 and 11 twice, and for both words, it's Chodesh in Hebrew. The new moon, by implication, a month. It's showing you that new moon and month are the same in Hebrew. Now when we look at the moon, luminary, the book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 9, and it says, "And he dreamed yet another dream, and he told it his brethren, and said, Behold, I have dreamed more, and behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obeisance to me." When you look at the word moon, in Hebrew, it's Yerah. Okay?
An entirely different word. So if it was moon there in the other scriptures, like, I think you were in First Samuel, when it came to David, and what David was speaking, it would have said, new Yerah. But it doesn't say Yerah. The moon in the sky. It's talking about a new month according to a 364-day cycle. Right? Now I want to show you something else here now. On the screen. Here. Back up here. This came out of, let's see. 1 second here. This comes out of National Geographic as well. Vernal Equinox 2012, first day of spring myth busted. Are days and night equally long today? The 2012 vernal equinox or spring equinox. Look at what was written. The hemisphere went to the east 1.8 making today the first day of spring, right? But don't be fooled by the rumor that on the spring equinox, the length of day is exactly equal to the length of night. The 3 days of day-night equality always fall before the vernal equinox, and after the alternate equinox, according to a public affairs of listen to his quote. Exactly when it happens depends on where you are located on the surface of the earth. Now, mind you, like I said, we were able to calculate the times while being in the east or on the other side, not the western. Now, by the time the center of the sun passes over the equator, the official definition of equinox today will be slightly longer than night everywhere on Earth. The difference is a matter of geometry, atmosphere, and language. And I'm glad that was brought out because some people resolve things clearly to the Western world, never understanding how. Now listen to this. Geometry, atmosphere, language of the spring equinox. If the sun was just a tiny point of light and Earth had no atmosphere, then day and night would be exactly 12 hours long during spring equinox. Pope shuffles vernal equinox. This is history now. Pope, the Most High gave us in Daniel, told us that they would think the days, times, and laws. And what do we have here? The Pope shuffles the vernal equinox. Now the vernal equinox, equal parts night, equal parts day, like the following, folks. But why did the Pope shuffle? Listen to this, folks. Another spring equinox oddity. A rule of the calendar keep it so that the first day of spring is almost always March 20 or 21, but sometimes on the 19th. In 1582, Pope Gregory VIII established the Gregorian calendar, which most of the world so they tell you that you follow the vernal equinox. Every place you go to, they show the 20th and all that. It's to account for the equinox inconvenience. So forget about trying to go to them and thinking that start from the 20th and all that and believe that that's the real equinox. If it every 100 early, eventually putting Easter in chilly midwinter. So they didn't do this to resolve the time according to the Most High feast and seasons. They did so Easter would always be winter time. Now, in the winter time. See? But through past history, they was observing the moon, and the days were off course. Listen to this. Before the Pope's intervention, the Romans and much of the Europeans, it begins with the fact that there is not an exact number of days in a year. But yes, it is. And it says, before the Pope's intervention, the Romans and much of the European world marked time on the Julian calendar, instituted by Julius Caesar. Counted are you in defiance of our 364 that the Most High gave us? The Gentiles had 365.25 during the time of Julius Caesar. 4-year cycle instituted by Julius Caesar, the calendar counted exactly 365.25. And it says, it turns out, however, that there are 365.24219 days in an astronomical tropical year, defined as the time it takes the sun seeing the earth. He's telling you right there that the sun moves. So the earth don't revolve around the sun, folks. They won't tell you this. The earth doesn't move, it only tilts. Everything else is moving. Again, usually the calendar, the fall spring equinox arrive in 1100. By 1500, the mark decreed that most century years, 1700, 1800, 1900, would not be leap years. But century years divisible by 400, like 2000, would be leap years. Under the Gregorian calendar, the year is 365, 2.25 duration of 365, 2425 days. Gregorian years are now only 27 length of the tropical. Not on part days. Nowadays, an error will allow the game to stay over a period of 3,200 years. So he says, we're just doing this as a quick fix, but we may have to adjust it again later. Why don't they just follow the most? How about that? Nowadays, according to the observatory, the system resets everything, slipping a little bit backwards until a 9th century year. Leap nudges equinox forward once again. What they call the vernal is actually being observed by the observatory in the United States. It's not the vernal equinox. They just adjust things that the spring, that Easter falls at a certain year, ordered by the March 20th. Look at that and say it's the vernal equinox. We don't get it. I went to the scriptures and I know exactly what it is. I found it out. So I need to check it every week. Because it's 64-day cycle. It always falls on the first of the week. On the last day of the week. The same way, so-called Saturday, Sunday is the first day of the week. And so-called the sun-called sundown Sunday, the sundown Saturday of the week. A weekend, Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. Same as a year. The first of the year starts Saturday sundown to Sunday sundown, and it ends Friday sundown. A complete and whether or not it tilts differently, because they even know that from year to year they're wrong. But since the year the most resolve it with you by a few more scriptures, and I'm going to follow up on some of the things I said. I will be showing you that Christ didn't rise on a Sunday at all. He rose on a Tuesday. And I'm going to show that. But before I do, let's go to my board, and I figured that I would show you this in a more simpler form. Here it is, a board. Right? Here's my board here. Right? Now, you have the first day of the year here. Right? First day. Did we know a first day is what? Saturday sundown to Sunday sundown. So we're going to just call this Sunday. So the first day of the year will come in Sunday or Saturday sundown to Sunday. Right? This, at this point, would be called a new month bringing in a spring. A new month right here, which is an intercalary day, which would bring in the spring, and this would be a Sabbath. That's a Sabbath day. That's a Sabbath. And then you'll have months here. 1 month, 30 days. Another month, 30 days. And another month, 31 days, because this is intercalary day, a new month. That's why you have that extra day, which would bring us into Sunday. That would be also what? A Sabbath reminding Israel that a new season has just come in. Right? You notice that? Then, the 31 days here is because it's an intercalary. It's letting us know it's separating the spring ends and the summer begins. You got it? Now we're going to do another 30 days, another 30 days, and now what we have is another 31, which is another intercalary day, which is a Sabbath. Letting us know a new season is coming in, and we need to begin a harvest to actually begin to get our food for the winter. Right? We start harvesting during the autumn, and this Sabbath will remind us that it's what? It's storing time for all of Israel. 30, and stored, and we're prepared for the winter. We have now that month ending with 31 days, which is an intercalary day, another Sabbath that will prepare us for the winter. Winter now is here. Right? 30, and another intercalary day, which is what? 364. 52 Sabbaths. 364, a complete year. I don't have to deal with a leap year. I don't have to deal with trying to switch things up every other year. The first month is 30, second month is 30, third month 31 is about to switch to summer. 30, 31. The extra 1 is actually an indicator that what? The season is about to change. 30, 31, the season is about to change. And here's another Sabbath right here, which is this one here, that gives us a complete cycle. Which gives us now a complete cycle to start all over again. Right? Now, let me show you this real quick. One more thing before I end it here. Now that we know this, I don't have to wait for a full moon to come. After equal parts night an equal parts day comes right here. After it comes right here, this first month right here. Let me do this here. Now that equal parts night, equal parts day, within the first 30 days is what? And the second week of this 30 days is Passover. See? That's Passover. So I counted 14 days from the equal parts night to equal parts day. So I know the Passover falls 14 days from what? The equal parts night and the equal parts day, which was the second week, 14 days. And that's Passover. At the end of the bread, I count 7 Sabbaths, and I'm where? I'm at first fruits according to the law. See that? So everything is calculated through Sabbath, folks. That's why it says count 7 Sabbaths. If I'm on that 52-week schedule, I'll know exactly when the Passover falls. I know exactly when first fruit falls for all the holy days in one calendar year, according to the Spirit, and that is what was given to me. See that? Now, if someone says that 364 days is too short, I have no argument with you. Follow whatever you like to follow. I'm going to go with what the Most High said. And then when the Gentiles adjust it for you after being wrong again, then you can say what they told you again. Okay? I'm all right. So if you want to listen, you can follow that if you would like. You wouldn't be the first. Okay? I'm just here to relay the information for you. I'm just letting you know what I'm going to be doing. What we'll be doing. Okay? Now. See, let me tell you. I think a lot of y'all been sleeping on these calendars. I'm gonna tell you that right now. A lot of you been sleeping. So it doesn't matter if the day of the week number is different from year to year. The number, the 14th or 15th, when you look at a calendar. Because why? It's the day that's fixed. Not the date you would have. You see how they count it. So if your holy day falls, you got it. If it falls on a Sabbath this year, it's going to fall on a Sabbath next year, like the Bible says, at the fixed time, at this same time next year. At the fixed time, the same time next year. If it was on day 1 today, it's going to be on day 1 next year. If it was on day 7 this year, it'll be on day 7 last year. Now that we know that the first day of the week is Saturday sundown to Sunday sundown, that gives us an indicator or when Christ gave up the ghost. And a new feast was preparing when Joseph of Arimathea requested Christ's body. For what feast? The Feast of Unleavened Bread, which comes in a day after Passover night. So Christ gave up the ghost Saturday night. It was a Sabbath. You know the first day of the week, of the year, is Sunday sundown, from Saturday sundown to Sunday sundown. Well, the first week was Sabbath, 7 days. That's when Christ told the disciples the first week that 10 days. That night. It was Friday night when they took him. He was before the council all night, and Saturday is when he had to walk with the cross. Okay? Saturday. He gave up the ghost sundown Saturday. Is when he gave up the ghost. And he rose 3 days later. Tuesday is when he rose, not Sunday. So if we know it was 14 days, equal parts night and day, it had to have been a Friday night, according to what they call Friday, or a Sabbath. See, the Sabbath has always been for us. And our Lord was given up on that day as a sign. See? Sabbath is when He was given us. You can only know if you resolve into the correct calendar. Now, some of you may ask, well, say the first day of the week when the Marys came to the sepulchre, right? After Christ rose, when He was already gone, right? Let's go there, Elder Lawyer, and let's get that out of the Greek tongue. Because the New Testament was translated out of the Greek. Now we understand that a calendar year is resolved through Sabbaths or intervals of Sabbath. You have your equal parts night, equal parts day. First day of the week. First day of the year. You count what? You count 7 days, or you count to 7, and you have your first Sabbath, Friday night to Saturday night. Then you count 7 and have what? Another week or Sabbath, which is 14 days from the equal part night and day for the first month, and that gives you Passover, Friday night. Christ is sitting with His disciples Friday night at a fixed time. So you might ask, well, why does it say? Well, think about this. And that's why brothers and sisters have to learn the holy days written of in Leviticus 23. Listen to me clearly, folks. Christ fulfilled that, okay, by actually having Himself be the sacrificial lamb on the same day that was given in Leviticus 23. He fulfilled it on that same day. On top of that, 7 weeks from that time when He gave up the ghost, what happened? First fruits or Pentecost happened on the 50th day from Passover. Passover, you count 7 Sabbaths after Passover, and that gives you first fruits, where the Holy Spirit came down and gave the disciples the ministry you see before you. See? 7 Sabbaths. So we talk about intervals of Sabbath. Passover, then 7 Sabbaths. So it's all resolved within that 364-day calendar, or 52 weeks of Sabbath. To the degree in which we know exactly when the Holy Spirit came down to begin the ministry. If you don't understand the Old Testament holy days, you're not going to understand this. But you must observe it according to the equal parts night and day first. And we've already resolved that for you. You can go around and confuse yourself and try to figure it out now, but we did that years ago. We're beyond the time of going to the observatory and getting that, because we were in it. That's when it was in its infancy. When we were putting things together and still getting the information after getting it from the Most High and studying it. We don't even have to deal with the observatories and go to date and times and all that. We don't have to do that anymore. Okay? It's finished. Because once you got 364, the cycle continues on and on and on, and we just have to be on those days, observing those days within that cycle, period. Right? Now that we understand that a full year is really intervals of 7, it helps us understand when Christ rose according to the New Testament when you look at the Greek. Read that in the book of Luke real quick, Elder Lloyd.
That's the one here in Matthew.
Yeah, let's get the one in Matthew, yes.
St. Matthew chapter 28, verse 1.
Yes.
In the beginning of the Sabbath, as it began to dawn toward the first day of the week.
The first day of the week, which we know is what? Saturday sundown to Sunday sundown. Read.
Came Mary Magdalene and the other Mary to see the sepulchre.
Now, this first day of the week isn't our Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. Right? Not at all. We know what the first day of the week is Saturday sundown, to Sunday sundown. That's our first day of the week, right? That's our first day. But this isn't the first day of the week when you read the Greek. Right? Now, this first day of the week, which is Sunday, is what churches use to say, what the Nicene Creed used to say. Now, this is our excuse to use Sunday, the worship of the sun, the first day of the week, as the new Sabbath. They use this scripture. Because when they went to the sepulchre on the first day of the week, Christ was gone. He already rose. Right? But let's see what this is saying in the Greek. Read.
So they have the words here. This is Matthew 28 and 1. The first word they have here is apse, which means evening.
Go ahead.
Next they have the word e, which means yet. And the word for week is Sabbaton.
It's Sabbaton.
Where it says first day of the week, that word there for week is Sabbaton.
It's Sabbaton. Right? So it's not saying the first day of the week. It's saying what? The first interval between Sabbaths. Let's get that in your Strong's. Let's get that in your Strong's now.
In the Strong's here it says, this is G 4521.
Read.
Sabbaton of Hebrew origin.
Of Hebrew origin.
The Sabbath.
The Sabbath.
I.e. Shabbat, or day of weekly repose from secular avocation. It goes here to say, a Sinite, an example, the interval between two Sabbaths.
The interval between what?
The interval between two Sabbaths.
The interval between two Sabbaths. You have the Sabbath when Christ was given up, and a Sabbath coming. Okay? Which is first fruit. So Christ rose between two Sabbaths, the interval between two Sabbaths. Passover and at the end of first fruit. Christ rose in between that. See that? So it should read, let's go back to Matthew.
Matthew 28 and 1.
Read it.
In the beginning or in the end of the Sabbath, as it began to dawn between the first day, or toward the first day of the week.
As it began to dawn, read.
Toward the first day of the week.
Towards the first between Sabbaths. The first between Sabbaths, or the first week between Sabbaths, when you read it in the Greek, read.
Came Mary Magdalene and the other Mary to see the sepulchre.
Exactly. It wasn't the first day of the week. It was the first between Sabbaths when you read it in the Greek.
Go back here.
And the Gentiles know it, that it wasn't Sunday when Christ rose. It was an interval between Sabbaths. You can only know that by calculating or knowing the calculation of the 7 Sabbaths, which leads to what? First fruits. So the interval between the first week from Passover to first fruits, Christ rose. Go on.
Mm-hmm. Going back to the Greek, it says here, eis, meon, into one, Sabbathon of Sabbath. Okay, so just verifying that it's one of those Sabbaths or an interval between two Sabbaths.
It's an interval, and it's starting with the first one.
And last but not least, is reading here how they have it translated. It says, now it is the evening of the Sabbath, at the lighting up into one of the Sabbaths.
One of the Sabbaths, this is how it's read in the Greek. One of the Sabbaths, which is the first week of first fruit, right? I mean, the first week of what you would call the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Read.
Came Mary Magdalene and the other Mary to behold the sepulchre.
So it didn't even say the first day of the week in the Greek tongue from whence this is translated, from where this is translated. Look at it yourself. But the churches are using the first day of the week to claim that this was Sunday. Impossible. Christ was crucified. He was given up on Friday, crucified on Saturday, and died Saturday night. He gave up the ghost Saturday night. So if you count 3 days from that, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday is when Christ rose. An interval between the two Sabbaths, Tuesday. Study to show thyself approved. Now what the Christians are going to do. He didn't rise on a Sunday. It's a lie to have all of our people follow the ways of the Gentiles and to worship the sun. You have on one side the Gentiles under the Catholic Church worshiping the sun as a luminary. And on the other side, you have the Jewish powers worshiping the moon, like the Babylonians did, as a luminary, in disrespect of the God who made us all.
And furthermore, just building on that point,
Yes.
even if you believe that Christ rose on a Sunday, there's no scripture that states that because he rose on a Sunday, if you believe that you must now change the Sabbath to Sunday.
Exactly. Hope you all can see that. There's no excuses now. You can't say, well, Christ rose on a Sunday, so I'm going to switch to holy days. No. That disconnects us from the Most High and that sign he made between us and him, which is Sabbath. See that?